shit down.
You know, I brought these to PCA with the intention of smoking them.
Which one? What's that?
I'm not going to say what it is because we're live.
Okay. Yeah.
So I brought them with the intention of smoking them in that booth with Nick.
Right.
And it just never happened because you know how it is. You want a clean palate.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it's something that important.
I think we'll end up doing both anyway, for what it's worth. I think we'll end up doing both.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Hold on. I got to figure out where my volume's coming from. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. You told me to be quiet.
Wait a minute. I didn't crash this out, dude.
I don't know. There's nobody in the chat, though.
I think it was me.
I didn't even get a notification that you went live.
They've been bad about that. Well, it's not like I've been posting a lot anyway, but I've been hearing people complaining about this stuff anyway. So we got G3 in.
Oh, I just got the notification now. You laughing at me? Don't laugh at me.
No, I'm laughing at G3, man. You've already been hard enough on me on this first comment. He said, "About time you come back, man." You got plenty of good people out there to be watching and paying attention to, man.
Hey, Prudence.
How's everybody doing? We'll wait till a couple more get in before we get warmed up. Get my rest of my cigar lit up. I can say what I'm smoking. I'm finishing up a rare leaf Toro.
Well, we'll say what I'm smoking. We'll just figure out how to tell the people.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be the first time anybody even hears about it.
I know. That's why we do these things. Let's go. Good. I can't even speak. Andre Scott. Mystical. I like that Val said, "Good evening, Lions." Kind of feel a type of way, you know.
Val, what's going on, man?
You know, in the words of Jay-Z, you got to brush that shoulder off.
Mm-hmm. About time.
I can't pull that off, man.
Can't pull what off?
Trying to imitate Jay-Z. Come on now. You know, very few. It is fucking cold here. I might have to go put pants on.
Oh, it dropped down that bad?
Yeah, like I'm my shorts and long socks aren't cutting it. I might have to text my wife actually to bring me some pants.
What's we got here? Andre, what's going on? Martin, what is going on? I see Cam in the building. Still talking about the LFD Rumba, which is a really good cigar. I saw Janice smoking it the other day too. So it's good. It's good to see when you feature a cigar and then months later people are still smoking the recommendation, which is you even without saying anything. That's just super validation that the cigar was enjoyable. So,
well, it kind of makes me sad though because I want them to smoke it right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I know not everybody's the same way. They can't be like Carson and burn through everything in a day.
Let me ask you about this too, because I mean, you know, we're kind of very similar with this too. I don't know if I talked to you about this or not either, but I haven't posted a lot, so there hasn't been a whole lot of comments on YouTube recently. But then it seems like in the past 3 or 4 days, I've been getting more comments kind of coming in. I don't know if some videos being pushed or whatever, but I got the craziest comment, man. Some guy, I guess the perception was that because he watched the Humidor tour video and he saw that most of the cigars, the boxes were mostly full, that I didn't smoke cigars. And I was just like, wait, what? So what about all these Cuban Humidor tour videos where we're seeing $50,000 worth of cigars? Or I was like, man, my collection's not even that big.
I mean, so like there's like 2 people that have seen my collection, with you being one of them.
So to what that person says, if he saw your collection, he wouldn't think that you smoke cigars either.
So like when you get I don't mean to sound this like braggadocious, but like when you have such a large collection, it is easier to rotate through cigars. And
yes,
I have a large collection because I buy cigars and you buy cigars in your boat too that you like. and therefore you have a wide variety to smoke from. So I don't have to burn through the same box of 20 every
You know
month.
what I wanted to say publicly, but I just didn't want to sound like a straight up asshole. Though you know what I wanted to say though when he was asking I was just like, nah, I'm not even gonna go there with him. I just whatever. I'm not gonna pick at anybody because I know everybody's situation is different. But it was almost kind of like, man, don't hate the player, man. Hate the game, dude.
I mean, like,
don't
so
be
like,
mad at me.
If you look at my stash, you're going to assume that I hate the Supreme Leaf because I don't smoke them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, but I think so. You know, talking about the Supreme Leaf, I think we both were one and the same kind about that. The Robusto was very, very good immediately. So naturally, the next release, we hoarded them. We were like, all right, that was a really good cigar. Let me jump on it. We smoked it while being good. It wasn't, even with age, they're getting better, but they're just still not as good to me, at least. And then, you know, the Corona Gorda came out. And so I was more reserved on that. Now, the new size that'll be coming out, I probably won't still be as aggressive as the Toro, but I will be. I just like that 109 cap, man. I'm just a sucker for that size.
I'm in the same boat, right? For me, it is I trust, trust Max or Eduardo and Terrence that I'm going to buy the cigar multiple times over, sight unseen. I'm going to smoke it, but listen, I've got my reservations. I've smoked it. I'm not going to tell the people what I think of it, but it was still new, but I didn't hate it, I guess is what I'd say.
Right.
So when it actually ships, so
no, give a shout out to John Wilhoy too, man. Appreciate the donation. Say, hey, Ron and James, can't wait for September 6th or 26th. I'm looking forward to that too. Not only you, man, there's a lot of people that I'm looking forward to putting faces with names and being able to hang out with you guys, share a drink and a cigar, a couple of cigars, some good food, some music. I'm looking forward to September too. So John, you definitely at the top of that list. And keep in mind, man, I won't go too far into advance, but just know periodically throughout processes, people that are very important to us you'll be able to see their influence sometimes. So I appreciate you, John.
Yep. Where's that comment? Chris, I am not rocking the TiVos, man. I am not that dude. I'm good old Nike slides any day of the week, baby.
Man, I got my Ice Cube house shoes on. Now you're the ones he had on Friday.
So I'm not gonna lie. I've got some nice like leather LL Bean slippers in the house that have lasted years. I had them on until I was coming outside. I was like, nah, it ain't happening.
Man, normally I'm walking around in barefooted or in socks or something. I just hate wearing clothes, man. Or at least around the house. Like I was so happy when my sister-in-law moved back out because I was like, all right, thank God, like I could walk around pretty much naked again. Like
butt naked.
Nice. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, how many people do we got on this thing? Or should we keep waiting?
We can go. It looks like we got 30, 40 people in here.
Oh, that's it.
Enough.
As we're doing, Nick is texting about some travel plans that we have coming up.
Big business, man. No, I got you.
Yeah, it's all good. I got to respond to it.
This is this past month has been fun to watch you two too. So
this is like the witching hour for Nick and I for business because the shop is shut down and we can strategize and we can work. This is when conversations happen.
Right. But we can go ahead and start though, James. And first and foremost, I want to just say congratulations and thank you to everybody in the chat that's a part of the Cigar of the Month Club. As you guys know, it is still currently July. So we're celebrating our 1-year anniversaries. Man, James, that's really crazy, man, that we've been around for 1 year. I literally remember me and you having the conversation before getting it off the ground about what we possibly could do. First month going out and being nervous about the 20 or 20, 30 people that we had month one. Yep. Something like that, and just to watch where it's grown in over a year and how many people, the videos, the tags, the posts of people that are all believing in us now. Obviously, we recently launched Black Line Select 2. And like I said, James says all the time, it's all because of you guys that we are able to even do what we're doing now and just continue to press forward. So I want to personally say thank you guys for trusting in me and James and Nick all together. And I think we thoroughly all enjoy what we're doing. And, I'll let James talk. I haven't seen him in a while either.
Well, they don't want to see mine.
Unless you've been on the monthly Zoom.
Yeah. Man, let me tell you what, it's humbling and like y'all know us. Like, we're pretty straight shooters. Like, I knew we had the potential. I knew our vision was right. But at the same point, like, it takes people who want to believe in you or believe in the process and want change to occur, right? You know, it could have been really easy for Ron and I to buy cheap cigars, slap fake bands on them, and tell stories.
Yeah.
And we probably could have been a great club. Probably could have been whatever. We could have been something different. But real change, in my opinion, which was the whole goal of this club, which is to provide, you know, core line cigars, everyday cigars, budget friendly cigars, also, you know, running up to the special one-offs, because they're just what they are in terms of production wise. Like, that's change, and that's tough change, in my opinion. But change doesn't occur with just Ron and I, right? It takes people who are willing to sit in the audience and stand up and raise their hand and give their hard-earned money,
right,
and say, yes, I want this. I'm tired of all these other clubs taking my money. I'm tired of all these other clubs not getting the return on investment, which is what Ron and I consider this. Because, right, this isn't a spot. You heard me say it a million times, Ron, and these guys know it. This isn't a club where we just use it as a nest egg to build better things. This is a club where you put in and we give you an even better return on your investment. And I feel really strongly about that. But it takes early adopters, right? It takes people who want change.
Right.
And I think, holy hell, in the first year, we found that there are people who want change in the cigar community, right? They want honest cigars. They want exceptional cigars for a value. Is what we provided. Like, I'm not taking shots 504 Lefty. Like, let's be honest, right? Change occurs because there needs to be change and somebody sees it. With all the FDA regulations going on and what that looks like for the future, nobody knows. And you know, cease and desist that are out there behind the scenes. It's just
a lot of that been going on lately.
Yeah, and if I can just say my piece one more time, you're friends with John Huber, right? That's an understatement.
Very good friend. Yep.
If we go to Huber, right, and we say we want to do a custom blend, I almost feel like we're saying we don't like your core line products enough. We don't like your Juarez. We don't like your Four Kicks. We don't like your Mil Diaz enough to actually use them. We only want you to make something special for us, and we're never going to use your other products.
Yeah, and I mean and so that's the one side that I'm thankful for James and Nick allowing me to get more on the business side of it, to realize that while being just a regular smoker, and trust me, the limited editions and stuff like that, it's nice to smoke them too, and I do that as well too. But like, your bread and butter, or what keeps the companies going, is their core line stuff. That's what keeps their doors open. So, and oftentimes I've even found in even regular companies, even a company that I love as much as Crown Heads, there's I actually did a written review on a anniversary cigar, and if some people that are John's in the Patreon, there's some people that know that have read their review. What has disappointed me the most is I feel like we're getting these limited edition, special edition releases. The price is going up, but the product is not as good as even the core line stuff. I have a huge problem with it. If you only have one time to have a 5-year anniversary, you only have one time to make a 10th anniversary. So these cigars to me need to be clear-cut standouts. And if to me that means that, all right, if you can't roll 50,000 of them, you can only roll 10,000. But if it's not going to sacrifice the quality of the cigar, the integrity of what you have built, then that's what it is. Everybody's just not going to get a chance to smoke it. So I think the model now is I could make 10,000, but I could also get away with making 50,000 and make more money. And so we had that Zoom with Akil, and I really liked what he was saying too. Like, and he pretty much was saying, I don't compromise who I am. I like money, and money's good, but that's not the driving force of why I run my company. That's not why I make my blends. If I can only make an X amount of money and I like this blend, that's what I'm gonna roll with. So like James was saying, it's not a shot being fired. I think me and James have been on this uphill battle probably for the greater part of 7 or 8 months. And I think that we finally have started to make some kind of crease or some kind of leeway, probably March, April, somewhere in there. Finally, like, we're brand owners are finally seeing what we're doing. They see the model that we're trying to build, and they're starting to respect it, man. Because like we said before, this club is for blue collar people, by blue collar people that work hard. We have full-time jobs, we have families. Like, we aren't riding on yachts, riding Ferraris every day, man. Like, I drive a Mazda every day, like, I'm just a regular dude.
Subaru, baby.
Yeah, just a regular guy, man. So I always, like, even as I was making more content in the past, I always used to tell a lot of the content creators, make content that you yourself will want to watch. So I take my own advice. I want to be a part and curate the way that I would want to be curated for. All the boxes and groupings that you see are things that I would be happy if I received them in the club. I've been members of other clubs and guiding groupings where you got 4 or 5 cigars and there might be one in there that I'm excited about.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean,
we take it serious.
You nailed it, Ron. It's you hate to, well, but also you nailed it on the thing that was probably the biggest challenge for us for our 1-year anniversary, was creating a box of personal favorites, which we avoided tremendously, like except for one cigar. But
dude, think about how much shit I got for that Warhawk.
I know.
Even after I had it in the summer showdown, there still were people, man, you don't really like this cigar. You just trying to push product. And I was like, I don't know how many times. And then it was satisfying to see everybody in that box like, man, that really is a good cigar. I never would have picked it up. And with the 15% off code, you get these cigars at like, I don't know, $6, $7. Like,
they can be had. No, but I think that's the, how do I say this? That's the proof that the club is what we want it to be, right? It's a group of open-minded, cigar connoisseurs. It's people who believe in, you don't need to stare at the band. You can actually judge the cigar based on the tobacco.
Yep.
You can put aside the tasting note sheet, or that has some typos every once in a while. My apologies. You can put aside the band, the box, and you can actually let your palate work. And when we started this club, Ron and I said early and often, we didn't think this was a club meant for the everyday, or sorry, the brand new consumer, right? The brand new cigar smoker, because we thought these cigars might just go over their heads. With the asterisk being, you can buy and maybe sit on some of these cigars, sit on the big dollar ones until you get a little further along your cigar journey, and you can understand some of the tasting notes and why this region is why it produces cigars that we like, and why this manufacturer is one that we continuously go back to, right? Plasencia, HVC, we used M. Bombay. Like, there's a reason we go back to these people, is because there's talent there and there's tobacco that is, high quality. And I think that Warhawk was kind of like the testament of that. Is we've had it, but the group there is what we always wanted it to be, which was people who were open-minded, critical thinking, and cared about change. They actually want to just be able to smoke a cigar that they didn't pay full price for. They got a great deal, and be able to give their honest and open thoughts without being judged in our community. And we've achieved that.
That's the like part with 5 exclamation marks behind it. And I was telling you all before we went live about a particular situation where, I was just like, I've said it multiple times. I'm like, I like when people say they don't like all the cigars that I don't pick. Like, I don't want you to like everything I pick, because I know for sure everybody's palate is different. Now, even if you do like it, and there are a lot of cigars that I might like, that a person might like, but they might not like it on the level that I do, and vice versa. They might end up loving a cigar and I might think it's okay. But that's fine, though. I would much rather have 1,000 members of people like that'll give honest, real feedback, rather than to have 5,000 where is we don't, because you don't improve. You can't get better like that if everybody's afraid to be honest with you or tell you, hey man, that cigar sucked, or this month it wasn't it. Like, y'all, like, we don't improve. So
and that's the thing. Like, you hear that people preach about family, and we call it the pride, obviously, right? We call ourselves Pride because the pack of lions. It's just awesome knowing that we fulfilled that vision, right? We didn't. How do I say this nicely? Like, we didn't use a marketing strategy to drive the product, right? We kind of did it old school, maybe kind of ass backwards in today's world. We allowed the product to drive, right? We didn't use you and I's name, our reputation. We said, here's a quality product for an even better price point. If you want to be a part of this, you want to be somebody who actually, like, I keep saying change, right? But change and consistent year to, month to month. We nailed that. And we have some freaking tremendously fucking awesome people in this club they aren't afraid to tell you and I what they think, how they differ, or if they agree, or what they even want to see next, because I really feel like they know that the door is open for communication. And that's just like a byproduct, but is also something I'm really proud of, that this community and the Black Lion Pride has grown into. And I just can't say it enough. Like,
and so for me, like I say, I don't know like how many times I've said it either, but I feel like this is where me and James gravitated towards when he first reached out to me, like when the channel was first started. And I feel like that's why Black Line and RonReal TV work so well together, because we pretty much are the same. So it's, I look at it and I put it in context of how Black Lion Cigar the Monk Club is how I built my channel up pretty much. Like there was no steroids added. It was just, we got in the gym, you put heavy weight on the bar and ate clean. And guess what? It took longer to get that size. But guess what? If you slow it, for me, like even looking at the channel, the videos aren't coming as much as they used to or whatever. The channel's still growing because the body of work has been put in already. The legitimacy and the authenticity and the integrity is there. So people know, hey man, it wasn't built up off of flash, or some people may say Cigar Madness is flash, but you know, you get the point. Like you go in the gym, you do the work. That's what we did with the Cigar the Month Club. It's just, we knew, all right, man, we could either build this club by, we could take the little steroid shot and blow up fast, but if we stop taking steroids, it deflates. Or we could go in here and lift some heavy ass weight for a long time, and even when we let off a little bit, that muscle's still gonna be there. So
I love how you use a workout analogy with me. All right, like that has like doesn't resonate. No, but like, you know, like, right. So like the thing that I struggle with, man, like, because to me, I never really lasted that long in a couple clubs because I got frustrated really quickly, and which is what led me to want to be in the industry and where I'm at now. And the whole premise of why this, you know, we wanted to do this when I wanted to do this and I pitched to you is the consistency and the longevity. And it's crazy to fucking think. And like I said, I can't process this because I've never done it. Is like the month 1, month 2, all the way up to month 12, right? That first year, when we hit year 3, when we hit year 4, these are the fucking people that can say they're the goats with us, right? Or the OGs. Like these are the people that they believed in you and I. They believed in change. They believed in trying to have a product that was better for the community, so they didn't have to worry about FDA regulations. They have to worry about being lied to. And I can tell you this, like, I won't say the names. Like, I have cigar manufacturers in my DMs right now who love us, and it's no shit, no bull. Like,
if you pay attention to comments and stuff in the Facebook groups and things like that, I always say pay attention to your surroundings, and you can put two and two together on a lot of stuff if you know who's who. So, and that's why I always tell people to you gotta reading is fundamental, and always listen, man. You know, you can learn a whole lot from listening and reading, doing a lot of reading.
But it's just crazy, man, to think like, here's a couple names, right? You know, Axel, Messi, you know, John Wilhoit, you know, Jesse Mallard, you know, 504 lefty. I know his name, it's slipping on the top of my head. You know, Hoodie God, like they are the people that were here at the beginning. And when they hit that mark, you know, if they stick with us, lo and, you know, God behold. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's just crazy to think about because we took this simple concept. We didn't drop 10,000 into a marketing budget. We didn't fly to Nicaragua to buy cheap cigars out of a factory nobody's heard of. We worked and loved, you know, we worked with the companies we loved. I had good product that just slept on because of their boutique or they're old and just haven't thought about them in a minute. And it's very humbling for me. So like, this is my long-winded thank you. Thank you.
Yep. And that's pretty much what we are. Yeah, because I mean, it's without getting all sappy and stuff, man. It's just really hard to believe, or like you just said earlier, it's really humbling to see where we started and where we are now, and where for sure it's headed to. So, and I think that's something you guys should all feel proud of, because it's a difference when you're a part of something successful and you've gotten into it kind of late, but it's still cool. But it's different when you could say, man, I was there in the very beginning and saw this monster just grow, you know, like it's just a much different thing.
Well, not even, you know, monster, but like you saw something that somebody else didn't, right? It's
right.
This is gonna be a terrible analogy, so don't hate me. It's like when Eminem, right, with 50 Cent, right? Nobody really saw 50 Cent for what he was until M did, and then 50 blew up for all those years, and then he, you know, is what he is now. But like, you know, you have to be like, somebody has to see you. And so like, I think our club members are the guys that have seen it, and the girls, sorry, like they saw something that nobody else did for whatever reason. Whether it was they had some critical thinking skills, I don't mean to insult anybody, but like, like they saw something in us that we had been trying to get out there, but in doing it in a grassroots way, because we didn't want to, you know, you and I have talked about it openly, like we didn't want to be 1,000-person member in month 3 because logistically I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Like you can, y'all know some of the struggles I have already, and you know, or I had because they're getting better.
Yo.
So yeah, it's just humbling. But somebody said something. Scott T said, "Y'all are setting the standard. I'm noticing more and more clubs using our offerings." And it's funny because Ron and I send pictures of each other all the time of that. Like, oh, like there's one club, no bowl. They're consistently 2 months behind us.
Yeah, that's fun. It is.
And
And
it's
I mean,
usually
it's down to the same size cigar too, man. It's like,
same
damn, you're
size.
gonna use the same motherfucking size.
Yep. And we didn't. And it's funny. I didn't notice the trend until one of the companies messaged me, and they're like, "Hey, love what we're good friends with them offline." And so he messaged me, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're not wrong." So it is what it is. But
Yeah.
all right, to the task at hand.
So yeah. So
what do you want to do?
no. We could jump into a quick selection of why we did the cigars. I feel like, man, I'm so happy that we ended up running into Akil at TPE, man, because you know who he reminds me of immediately when we yeah, I wish I was in this spot, man, but maybe one day that'll happen soon. But I like him. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I would say I think he's you and I. Like no.
Oh yeah. As far as like yeah. No, I know what you're saying. But I like him though because from talking to him in depth, like Luciano Morales of Ace Prime, Huber, Saka, certain guys, and you can just tell when you get around them, they're like a no nonsense. Just cigars are not, for God's sakes. Lee May sent me a little clip, and I thought it was hilarious because me and Lee both talk about how much we hate V cut. Sorry about anybody in the chat that likes V cut in their cigars, but he sent out this clip, and it was hilarious, man. I got to send you that clip because it's just classic soccer. Like, no holding his tongue back. Just like, I think V-cut's stupid. Like, just cut the damn cigar. You're cutting it 2 or 3 times. It's just like, he said it, not me. So
I love it. So I think Sokka's great. I love Sokka. He might be the only company that knows me over Nick, though. For whatever reason,
Lafferty's solid too, man.
Well, Lafferty's legit. Lafferty and Nick are thick as heat.
Yeah, Lafferty's solid.
But Nick that's where his relationship has. Whereas I've had a chance to talk with Lafferty. So Lafferty walks up and we're with him, and he's like, Sokka sees me. He's like, "Hey James, good to see you." I was like, "Hey Steve, good to see you." And I was like, and he looks at Nick. He goes, kind of did that. I was like, "You've met. It's Nick, the owner." It was, "Oh yeah, I remember." And it was a very long day, TP, but it was funny. He might be the only owner that knows me over Nick.
Yeah, I can see Nick now just sitting there, just real quiet, just looking.
Yeah. All right,
man.
Ron. So I'll set the stage, and then I want you to talk. All right.
All right.
So July was actually probably our most challenging month.
Yes,
from a perspective of that we didn't really plan that far out. We set the challenge for ourselves that we were going to go to TPE, which is the Tobacco Plus Expo in Vegas, and we were going to find our anchor. And we were actually going to build the whole box. So we wanted to be in person for the first time and see how we would work together in person to curate this box, which is, we knew we could do it just different because we do a lot of it via text, WhatsApp, and over the phone. And so I told Ron, and he agreed that we didn't want to go in with any preconceived notions. We wanted to meet with as many people as possible. And we wanted to reward those companies that were at TPE because they wanted to get the FaceTime in. And for us, it really mattered to get the FaceTime.
Right.
So it's day 2 we were with Akil in Regis?
Yes.
Or was it day 3?
Day
2. It was day 2.
Maybe it was day 2. Yeah.
Well, so we landed. Remember, first day was only a couple hours, then it was a full day, and then the second day. So third day, but second day on the show.
Right.
So we go to the Regis booth. Go from there, Ron, why you and I picked Regis.
So Akil, the owner of Regis Cigars, we walked over there. And honestly, I had smoked probably one Regis cigar. I remembered hearing the name, but it just didn't resonate with me because he's not carried here locally. And at that time, James hadn't even carried him either. So we got over there, and I could tell within the first 5 minutes of talking to the guy, I was like, I don't even really care what the cigars are right now. I at least want to give the guy a shot because I like where his head is at, how he thinks business wise, how he thinks cigar wise. It covers the business section of running the Cigar of the Month Club, and then it also interested me talking to him on a personal level too. Very laid back, like James said. He's like me and him. He's in his mid-30s. No nonsense kind of guy. He's gonna just give it to you straight and raw. And then on top of that, his cigars were good. So then we got to a point where we were talking to him, and then we find out that he's connected in with Placencia. And I'm like, I like a lot of Placencia stuff. And then he wanted to hand us a cigar that day. So, no, we'll wait. We've been smoking cigars all day long. I want to give your cigar actually a really fair shake. Smoke it on a fresh palate. The very first cigar we all smoked was a white label Robusto. Me, James, and Akil were sitting at the table. Nick was standing right there. All three of us started smoking, and there was no words being exchanged. I was smoking, looked up at James and looked at Nick and kept smoking. And I knew that they liked it because I've talked to them enough and have been around them enough now to know I could look over at Nick and tell if he doesn't like something. And I could look at James for sure, and I could just tell because James would just sit there and just kind of look at it like he's trying to find something good to say about it, but nobody was saying it. And I was like, all right. In my mind, I was like, I think we could use this one. And then James leans over, he's like, what do you think? I'm like, I like this one. He's like, I like it too. Like, all right, we got to make sure Nick is good on this too. Looked over, Nick's like, Nick does his little thing where he just kind of puts his hand up and still keeps smoking. Like, y'all good? I'll intervene if anything bad is going on.
So it's the Godfather, right? He just goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as simple.
Yep. You'll know when you're fucking up because he's gonna step in or he'll, you know. But no, he was great, man.
So I'll tell the part where I did fuck up. You ready for this?
I'm good. I'm glad you're gonna say it because I didn't want to say it. I said, nah, I'm not gonna do my man like this. If you want to talk about it, we'll.
So we preach consistency and like openness and just realness, I guess, is the best, you know. As Octavia said, quality over fuckery.
Yeah.
And so, listen, we had the white one in the bag. I was like, this is easy, but it's our 1 year anniversary. Like, so Ron had the quality of the cigar. He got the checklist. Great. Me, that's great. It's business. How does this month for our July 1 year anniversary differ? And so, you know us, it's either tchotchkes or a fifth cigar, right? I was like, I don't want to do tchotchkes. We built the brand and a reputation based on cigars. Let's do a fifth cigar. But I didn't want just like an $8 cigar. I was like, well, fuck, you have red, white, and blue, which is, you know, the USA market.
Yep.
We like the white. We're looking at the blends for the red and the blue. I was like, okay, I think we could pull off the red. I think that pairs better with the white. So this is all in my head. I say, Nick, can I talk to you over here? So I get up from the table, walk away with Nick, and I tell him my plan. He goes, what the hell's wrong with you?
Akil looked over at me and was like, yo, because I'm telling y'all, when James just literally, it went from us having a full conversation and James literally just got him like, I'll be right back. And Akil was like, he had that look like everything was going so good. What the fuck just happened? And I was sitting there like, hey man, sometimes they just do that shit, man. Just don't worry about it. It's good. We're fine. So I'm over there trying to like cover the tracks. I'm like, man, we good, man. We still gonna do some business. Don't worry, man. He's just looking at me like, the fuck just James comes back like, I'm sorry, man.
So I walked and like Nick did, you know, he didn't say to apologize. He's like, what are you doing? So we go back, right? I was like, oh shit, tail between my legs. I look at Akil. I was like, Akil, I'm apologizing, but for a good reason. I said, what I want to do for the fifth, I want to use your two of your big boys for the Cigar of the Month Club, but I need the numbers to work. So we haggled a little bit, but we smoked, shook hands, did the deal. Right, we got the 2 cigars. And it was just funny because like we walked away from the table. Nick's like, don't do that, man. He's like, we want solid relationships with these guys. We want them to be partners with us so that our club members benefit. He goes, you ever do that again, we're going to keep losing relationships. And it was like, it was like, it was
a learning curve.
Yeah. It's, you know, and I'm telling people because it's like, you want to know the secret to our success? It's not fucking up people over. Like, right. We're not trying to do some shady deals like, oh, how can we get one over on Akil?
Right.
And so it was a cool moment for us because since then, like if you were on the Zoom, Akil gave you guys 40% off on his cigars just for that day. I wish I tried to get it extended, but I couldn't because he's like, you know, he wanted to reward the club members that joined us for the Zoom. But it was like, those are the type of relationships we're building because of you guys. They see you smoking. They when, you know, in the Zooms, they're talking to you guys. So it was just really cool.
Yeah. And that literally was the epitome. And that's just the epitome of Nick. Like Nick just does everything face. You know, like if he likes you, if he doesn't like you, it's just gonna all be right in the front and center. You're gonna know where you stand with Nick immediately. Like he's just gonna tell you, like, I think that idea is stupid, or I don't know. Okay, you know, so you gotta love him. Like I said, in the short time I've been around him and you both, I've learned a whole lot from him. Just not even cigar related, but just being a better person about just how to handle relationships in
Yeah.
life. Like just being straightforward, man. You know.
Well, and I think I genuinely, like, it goes back to what I was talking about, the type of club members we have and how it's grown. Is it's just that moment, and I guess I'm trying to say it so you guys see it. Like, we actually preach it when we're with the brands and we're with the owners or their reps or their brokers. Is we don't try to hide why we're buying this many cigars. We don't try to get like them dirt cheap for any reason. Like, we want good relationships with these people so that they take care of us, which kind of leads us to the next cigar, which is HVC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've used HVC a couple times now. If you have watched anything with Ron, you know he likes HVC. If you've watched anything that I've done with Ron, you know I like HVC.
Yep.
But
Relationship
Rainier,
is very good there too.
yeah. So yeah, like, and I guess, and I don't guess, it leads to when we landed at TPE. Ron and I did Vegas for a little bit. You know, we explored. We did Casa Fuente. We did Casa de Monte Cristo. We did all that, right? We walked the strip for a little bit. Went back to the hotel. We're waiting for everybody else to arrive. We get down to the lounge or the bar where everybody's smoking and drinking. And who do we see? We see Terrence and Riley, and Riley, and, you know, Rainier. And they're, you know, they got some room, so we kind of squiggle in. You know, we have a good relationship, so we sit down. You know, I'm talking to Terrence, Ron's talking to Rainier, and you probably talked to him for a good 2 hours, not business.
Yeah, just how's the family? Yeah, just asking him personal stuff. He's asking me about the family and stuff. Just as solid as they come, and it doesn't hurt that he makes great cigars. So it's just, you know.
Yeah. And so, and eventually it led to, you know, Ron started asking him, you know, like, you know our club, you know what we've used. Here's what we're thinking. You know, for future months, like, what cigar do you recommend? What do you want to expose our club members to? And that's how we ended up with the San Isidro.
Yep.
It's just
that was literally Rainier.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not a bad recommendation when you have the Brando. We're talking about, like, hey, I think this is one of my better cigars, but it gets slept on.
And you guys know that's in the club. That's, you know.
I don't care what Lemax says. It's a good cigar.
I like them too. I mean, I don't like all of HBC's cigars, but that's one of the ones I do like. And it's funny, probably the one that a lot of people like is one of the ones I don't like, but you know how that is sometimes. So, but but Rainier is still in that position, like John Huber, like Dion Giolito, Nick Melillo, like certain guys. Like, it doesn't matter what they come out with, even if it's something that I don't think particularly I might care for, I still will at least buy one and try it. Like with HVC, it doesn't matter what his lineup is, and he told me in May some cigars that are going to be coming out by the end of the year, and I think some people are going to be really happy about some stuff that he's got playing. So,
and listen, spoiler alert, we've already ordered some of them.
Yeah, I was really happy about a particular size of one cigar. I was like, oh yeah, that's a 4 or 5 box minimum in my humidor.
Yeah, there's one we ordered 125 boxes of, and that's not even for the club. That's just for the store, because we anticipate them to sell, and many people wanting it. So it is what it is. But you know, it was funny because, like, we talk about why we think we got to 1 year, and I think everybody says it, but for us, we can preach it because at TPE was the first indication that we knew people were watching us and paying attention to us from the brand side. Because the conversation, like, we tried to keep, you know, keep them personal, have, you know, because you want to be friends with these people to some degree. You don't want it to just be fully business. And
I'm looking at it on the other side of the game. I'm looking at it too, Giant. Like you just said it too. For me, it's business, but at the same time, this is me potentially trying to start my own company one day. I want to have good relationships with these guys. That way, if I'm running into maybe blending issues or something, I can pick up the phone, call Rainier. Hey man, I'm mixing Corojo with this, and it's not really going how. What do you think I should do? You know, I want to be able to have that relationship with him or Luciano or somebody like that, where I can call him and just bounce ideas off of him. So you can't march through life by yourself. You got to have relationships, man. You got to value the good ones that you have around you. So those are very important, and that's what I think. Like you just said, we're doing it now more and better than ever.
Martin, I got you. You listen. You know, Black Lion's going to have the new HVC. You know, if you hadn't realized, or you probably do, bud. But like, Ron, Lee, and I got invited to that new Monte Cristo launch party at TP. We were one of 8 shops or 10.
Yeah, it wasn't many people. It was like it was less than 40 people in there.
Yeah, so you know we'll have them, but that's the relationship. Like, there's. I'm not kidding. I really wish I could record some conversations and like just title them attributed to the club members, because you guys, your influence, your drive, and in your passion has helped us tremendously, more than I anticipated. Ron and I are good at building relationships, but the intangible has been you guys on the back end, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
So, Ron, I forgot to ask, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm still finishing up on the Aganorsa Rare Leaf, and then I might jump over on this Warped Maestro del Tiempo that's got some nice age to it too.
Oh, I like that one.
The short fatty.
I was just gonna say it.
Yeah, this is the 5712.
Nice.
So and then also I'll let you talk about this story too, because I know like so.
You're supposed to ask me what I'm smoking.
Well, what are you smoking?
Am I allowed to say, or can I tease it?
Yeah, you could talk about it, because I've already kind of hinted we've been doing some stuff. So you can hint it.
Then you signed a non-disclosure agreement, buddy. You better be good.
That's why I've been kind of quiet. That's why I ain't saying nothing. We're just gonna ease it on in there.
I think we're calling this Ron's Table Blends or something like that effect.
We've been working, man. Just y'all be patient. I've had a couple of people actually even message me about when is the next project coming out. We're working. Just don't worry, we're working.
I mean, project 2, project 3, or maybe 3 and 2. Wait, 2 and 3. I did that backwards. Just saying. And I will be honest, these aren't the best, but they're not bad, Ron, for your real first hands-on. I'm
not expecting to put out a Padron 80th anniversary of my first wing. Definitely.
I hope so.
I would like to. But the relationships is important with that too. That depends on what kind of leaf you're gonna be messing with, how aged it is. It's so much information and so much to do. From the outside looking in, you think like, why aren't they able to do this? And it just doesn't work like that, man. Everybody has to start from the bottom. Everybody, unless you will have some lineage, unless you're like 4th or 5th generation or something, like shout out to Hochi Blanco and his son or somebody, Luis Cuevas, people like that, people that have been around for a long time,
Oh, we did some damage at the La Galera booth with Hochi. That man can sell for, doesn't speak a lot of English, but he can sell.
And he can make a good Dominican cigar too.
Oh shit, yeah, he can. That new one, the Imperial Jade, brother, is very good. But you know me, I like Cameroon. Like that's my favorite.
I do too. I like Cameroon too. So and Hochi is one I'm not very vocal about all the time, but I am like a huge fan. He's one of the few Dominican companies that I like will smoke a lot of his stuff.
When Nick is all Dominican all day long. If it says DR, he'll smoke it.
Yep.
But I will say, like, we keep going back to it, but like we quickly realized early in the process, we have the resources to do the project, right? We have Ron and we have the financial backing, but I can say openly that we probably didn't have the best access because we were still too new. The reputation wasn't there. But we've had FaceTime. We've had just quality time with these people, and we're getting a little better product or access to product than we could before.
Yep. So y'all, like I said, y'all stay tuned.
And I will say, go ahead.
Go ahead, James. What were you saying?
This might be private. By the time this hits the club, it might be closed. I'm just going to say it because in September,
I can't talk. Like he just said, I signed a non-disclosure, so I can't talk about it.
So did I. But we can talk business, But don't message him. If you message him, he can't.
Yeah, I'm not telling anybody about any. I can't. I'll get in a lot of trouble, and that could compromise a lot of what we're doing. So I can't.
Yeah.
Trust me, I want to. I'm excited because it's the first blend, but I can't. So.
And I'm in the same boat. Like, listen, I can tell you that it's a good cigar. It's a good cigar. For the price point, I think that it's gonna cost us, and what with the charging, it's a good cigar, and Ron did a very good job. I wish I could say more though.
Yep.
So now that what I like is that's in there, so you actually got to watch your video to find that.
Well, you'd be surprised. You're probably gonna start getting some random emails and messages too.
All right. So the third one, it was the third one?
Or HVC. We did the 2 Regis, the HVC.
Fourth one.
So
fourth one was all me.
Yep.
Because at the not gunpoint to Ron, but like I think he's had some not so great experiences with Adventura in the past. I think that's honest, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I really like the King's Gold for one reason is we're a big Drew Estate shop, and so it kind of has a Liga-esque and has a Foundation-esque approach to it. And I like this new size probably better than all the other sizes. This Corona size, and
I will agree.
so it was like, we met Henderson, great dude,
Yes.
great dude. And so Ron was able to pick Henderson's brain about the blend, his thought process, and I think that helped squash some of your earlier concerns as it related to the other core line cigars.
Yes.
But I mean, that's intentional why we haven't used them yet either. We wanted to go big and go home for our 1 year anniversary. So we went with probably, in Ron's eyes, their number one cigar. In my eyes, their number two cigar, because I happen to like the Queen's Pearl because I'm a Connecticut guy. Whereas this one, it's got the broadleaf on it. And there's just something about that band though, too, man.
And it works. It works. It looks nice and it works. Well, you know what makes it work is not big and gaudy. I feel like if it probably covered up like half the cigar, then it'd be like, it looks like a medieval shield or some shit. But it's just the right size, so it works. It doesn't get in the way of you. Sometimes the bands will be up too high. Yep. When you try to smoke it, it's paper on. It's just like it works. They did a good job.
Well, and so for those that don't know, one of the reasons that I like Aventura more now is Henderson's the blender behind and the factory behind a lot of my favorite Caldwell blends. And so kind of going back to that earlier point, I said, like, how do we not turn this into Ron and James's favorite hits, right? How do we not have 4 Ron's favorite cigars in there or 3 of mine? Because I don't think that's what this club should be. And we agreed like that. It was actually it was a tough part for us because like if we had our way, I know what Ron would put in and I know what I would have put in. We ultimately did settle on one of them though, which is the last cigar, which is the Henry Clay Warhawk.
I've been telling y'all this and one of the main people, Lee Mac, said I didn't pick it up and smoke it for whatever reason because it was cheap. It looked like it wasn't gonna be that good. Go watch his review. If you haven't watched his review of the Henry Clay Warhawk, go watch his review. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been telling you guys about this cigar for well over a year. Not only me, it is actually one of Pete Johnson's favorite cigars too. FYI.
You're not wrong. And it's just stupid. Well, I mean, not stupid, right? It's an Altadis cigar for those that don't know. So Rafael Dahl is in charge of that cigar, or it's been out for a while, so he just kind of oversees
inherited. Yep.
Yeah. It was really cool hearing Rafael's opinion of it, how much of a daily smoker it is for actually the team, the Altadis team. And Ron and I like it. Like, listen, we have 2 completely different palates. That's why this works really well when we talk about the blending, right? Ron spear, he's the tip of the spear. We don't overlap a lot when it comes to our palates and what we like. There's a few cigars, and this is one of them. So it was like a very easy, how we wanted to round this out was, Ron, we're not going to use X, Y, and Z because we don't agree on it, but we've talked about them a lot, so they may be overplayed. Like if we had the only other cigar might have been the Hoya Cuatro Cinco.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
That's another cigar that you and I just agree on.
Yes.
But we've used it in samplers. We've done other stuff. So it's like we want the club to actually stay relevant and be what it is, and not just let's just use this cigar because we know we can get it and we know it's a good cigar. But the Warhawk, you may ignore it because the band's not the prettiest. You may ignore it because it's been on the market for a while. You may ignore it because it's in the general or the Altadis portfolio next to Romeo and Julietta's and Monte Cristo. But in fact, it's a damn good cigar.
That's a textbook daily smoking cigar. It's not gonna beat you over the head with strength. It's got just enough complexity, just enough flavor to keep you interested. And on top of it, it's not gonna beat your wallet down. It's not gonna beat your wallet down. And y'all know how I say buy cigars. If you got the space, that's a cigar I would buy a box of.
Yep.
And it smokes good. We featured the Toro. I really enjoy the Robusto a lot too, even though it's a bigger ring gauge. That cigar just smokes really well. It's got that Connecticut broadleaf binder, which I think just really kind of breaks the monotony of just kind of the traditional Connecticut cigar that kind of, you get cream, hay, kind of bland on a lot of them. This really like livens up the blend. You get a little pepper in there. But like I said, at the same time, it's nothing to be afraid of. And I like that they put it as a binder because, a lot of times people see dark cigars and they just, it's gonna be stronger. They run from it. So it's kind of like they put that up underneath for you, and then you might hand it to somebody else like, what do you think of it? Man, that's good. You know, it's got Connecticut broadleaf in there. Really? It doesn't. I would think it would be much stronger. So that's a cigar that, as long as they continue to make it, I'll always will have that in rotation at all times.
Agreed. It's just, I don't know, you know, that was the cigar I think out of every club or every cigar in this month that we got the most feedback on, both negative and positive. But the positive killed the negative, obviously.
Right. And we done said this off. We were talking about this literally off live too. But we both embraced it. Like, keep giving us the negative feedback, because I always say to people, and again, the Patreon members that are with me know this too. My issue is when people say they like or dislike something and they can't tell you why. If you tell me you don't like something and you explain it to me, I might not agree with it, but I can respect it. Okay, all right, well, that's too much pepper for me, or it drives my palate out too much. I might not agree with you, but at least I can say, all right, that's your palate. I'm not your palate. So that's, you know, I have to take what you're saying or writing at face value and just, you know, trust that you're being honest, and that's fine. But like I said, that negative feedback still is what we communicate about that and build on that and try to improve on it. So it's really important for us.
Well, it's funny you talk about negative, or what you just said, like you come educated, and I talked about that earlier, right? We have a critical thinking group. We have people who are open-minded. It may have cost us a company relationship because we got to the booth at PCA, the one last week. We've had an order pending for 6 weeks that never shipped. We don't know why. We can't get an answer. So I told our rep I wanted an answer at the booth. I don't know.
Hopefully not, but hey, you know what it is. You got to keep marching forward.
Well, you know what I said to him? I said, I don't let my fucking 5-year-old get away with that answer, because my 5-year-old is smart enough to, whether he wants to admit it or not, he knows why he did something.
Exactly.
And I was like, you a grown-ass man who is paid to do this job.
Even if you would have came to me and I asked why, you just said, you looked at me in my face and said, because I just didn't get it done. All right. I might not agree with it, but at least you told me why it's not happening. You just told me you just didn't do it.
Well, and I think it really hit home for me because, like, we talk about the open and honest feedback, and I think I'm probably one of the only companies that I know to date that gets on these Zoom or these YouTubes or these Zooms and admits failure.
Yep.
Like, this is if you haven't realized, Black Lion Luxuries is grassroots, right? Nick didn't hire 8 people to run a company and get it off the ground. He didn't, you know, I'm not hiring 8 people to help me get off the ground, right? There's certain way to do business that I believe in. But like, some of you have gotten those emails like, listen, I messed up. Or I'll give you an answer. Like, clearly, you know, from the tracking, USPS messed up, but here's my communication, right? Here's the file, here's the claim. Like, I'm working for you to get you the answer, right, wrong, or indifferent. You may not like the answer, but it's like, I don't know what happened. Like, I may say that, but then I'll follow it up with, like, you know, it was dropped off at the post office on the 16th. I don't know why they didn't scan it in. Here's the file claim that I just, you know, here's the file. Here's the number for the claim I just submitted. You know, it usually takes 5 to 7 days to hear back. In the meantime, I will get a second package in the mail. And so for me, it was like, if I'm going to hold myself accountable for that way as a business person, right, as I'm trying to run and grow this company, I want the club members to know that, like, I'm doing the same for the brands. May hurt us in the long run, but I really feel like the brand that I did this to will respect that decision because they're straight up honest people and they know how to do business.
Right.
It
Sean just put in there, he said, or just randomly saw it. He said, first Warhawk he smoked was from the Summer Showdown sampler. So FYI, me and James are finalizing the working order of the Summer Showdown sampler for this year. This one's gonna be nice, man. Y'all are gonna want this. This one's gonna be nice. That's what I will say.
I'm excited. The setback, own it, right, is on. Well, I have to take the fall because I was the one handling one piece of it. Unfortunately, the product that we wanted to include is not produced or not going to be made until October because of, or did I say October or November when I messaged you?
I think October, somewhere in there in the fall.
Yeah, because of shipment out of China and some other things. We tried to find a made in USA option just to see if we could get it quicker, and it's not available either there. And so we had to I had to present Ron with a couple more ideas for him to approve to how we use it. And so that was the delay. Was we thought we had this product in the bag. We actually ordered it, right? We're like, boom, here's the cash, take it.
Yep.
And then I was like, yo, where's this product at? And they're like, oh, we'll let you know in 2 weeks. So I got back and they're like, we're not going to have it till October, November. And so we had to readjust. And so that's why there was a delay, because ultimately can't really have, Summer Showdown in October.
No. think the weather's a little different then too.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the reason we went with the Toro for the Henry Clay Warhawk too, is because it's summertime.
Right.
Right. We try to be one of those, and some of it's influenced by Pennsylvania, and where our members are, because we have a lot of Philly, New York, New Jersey, and California is like the oddball because like it's warm there all the time, except if you're Sean. But that's like what for like 3 hours a night he gets cold. That's because he's skinny.
Hey, I see that. I'm telling y'all, man, hey, this Summer Showdown sample I'm gonna be really excited to see some of these pictures with you guys' stuff, man. Because I'm looking forward to it.
I'm really excited to see the people try to imitate you. I'm sorry, I had to keep it real.
Yeah. But you know what though? It's fun. It's so I think for me, like looking at it, it's much easier to kind of imitate it when it's just kind of solely cigars. But now what we're about to do is going to be so very obvious. But here's the thing too. I don't think nobody else would be able to be in that position to do it.
Agreed.
And this is another reason why I decided to rock with James and start with Black Line Luxuries too, because I knew the goals that I wanted for myself. Nothing against any of these other clubs out there either, but I knew what I wanted for myself and what I was capable of doing and the area I was trying to head to. I had to find a company like Black Line that was just starting out with, and we were going to grow together. I wasn't going to be able to walk into, we'll use names. I wasn't going to be able to walk into Corona with Jeff Borshowitz or Abe at Smoke Inn or somebody like that and try to push on, hey, can you do this, and this? And they look at me and be like, who the hell are you? But with James.
Well, I said that to you one time.
Yeah, but look how it's working now, though.
Yeah, it was more like, I think it was, who the hell do you think you are? I'm just
kidding.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
That's what you're smoking next?
I am. It's been staring at me for a day, man.
But I'm excited though. It'll be funny. I don't think it'll be able to be duplicated. But we've done other things too. So, but here's the thing too. The thing that I always say now that I think it kind of resonates too, kind of like the whole mantra of be driven, never motivated. How I always say leaders lead from the front. Just lead from the front.
We do, and you do. That is for sure.
Lead from the front. So it's like, that's fine. You can try to do this, but you know.
Stephen, there's a good chance it will be snowing in October. That is a good chance.
Yeah. And when I was there in December, like literally the day after I left, it started snowing.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God. I hate that shit.
I love snow, baby. Growing up in California.
It's nice the first day. It's like, oh, it looks nice. And then you got to drive in this shit. It's like, nope, I'm good. And then the people here in Memphis already drive bad enough, man. You throw rain or snow on the ground or ice, and it's just.
Yo, Axel, stop giving away our ideas, brother. I tell you that stuff in confidence, man.
I don't know if I'm a cosign.
There's a way to do it. We can make
it. Yeah.
All right. So do you want? I'm going to do a little business if you don't mind while I enjoy this.
Go ahead.
So I said it in the Facebook group for those that are in it, the Black Lion Prides Rock. Every month, I think Ron and I can't top what we do. I think every month is our best. Well,
it gets hard because value too. Because value. We not only do we try to make sure that we're piecing together really good groupings and getting a good variety of things, but value. We always want to insinuate value. That's why you'll see randomly we did a cutter one time. We did a lighter. We've done extra cigars. We're always trying to figure out ways to work for the people and really, when you get that pack every month, we want you guys to be excited. I don't want you guys ever walk into the mailbox like, shit, here's another month of Black Line. Like, see what the hell we got in there this month. We want you guys going to it like, damn, man, what I'm getting this month. We always want to keep you on your toes. Like, what am I getting? So
speaking of that, I talked Nick out of the one thing for the December that we talked about already.
Yep. Damn. Yeah.
I talked him out of it.
It starts with an S.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, I can tell you it's going to happen at some point, but not for December.
Yeah.
So for December, I'm gonna text
you.
Dude,
it's gonna be so many tags and posts of that shit. That's gonna.
Well, we just secured the December extra. I just texted it to you. I forgot to tell you before we got on.
Excellent. Now that
the S thing still has to happen because they're ordered. So we got to figure out when to do it. So it'll probably be in January, but it is what it is.
Oh,
Like,
man.
you want to talk about like why we're special and why we're different. The S thing, when it happens, is going to be that shit.
Oh,
But,
it's gonna be so many pictures on Instagram and shit. That's what I'm looking forward to, just seeing the pictures. I'm just gonna be laughing at every one of them, man.
every
I'm like, man,
brand
what the
owner,
hell?
every brand owner is going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh,
But,
that's the three words we're gonna hear.
yeah. So I'm going to say it here now. It's buried in the comments or buried in this video, so I don't really care. There's a chance if you're not in by August, so next month, we might not open it again for September. And I am going on record saying I'm willing to piss people off and maybe do business what is perceived the wrong way, so that I can take care of our club members for September.
Ooh. Y'all know this is my birthday month too, man. That's gonna be that pack. They're gonna be bye.
September was, so Ron wasn't at PCA, but he FaceTime. We were talking. September was the hardest fucking month I've ever had to work, and I'm just gonna say it.
Ooh, that's gonna be crazy there.
Two of the cigars.
The fact that you're gonna see it in a club is gonna make people shit.
September was James 2 years of work, Ron 1 year of work. That's no bullshit. That's no fucking lie. And when September drops, if you're not in, there's a chance we might not let you in. And I just might permanently shut the club after that, because of how hard we had to work. And because you all bought in, you supported, you joined, you've been rocking with us, and you didn't leave us. And I want you guys to be rewarded so that you can get those cigars again. It's just that simple. And that's why, because I guarantee we could add an extra 150 members that month.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to do something that one other club has done that I anticipate not many others will ever be able to do. I just, when I got that secured, I called Ron and I said, bro, here's the deal. Here's what's going to cost. Here's what we can do. And here's how, in my head, the list you gave me, here's what we pair it with. And it was, how long did it took you? Maybe 3 seconds to say yes?
Yep. As soon as I heard that cigar, yep, we're going to put all Monte Cristos in there for the rest of the box.
Fuck no, man. Even cigars 3 and 4 are going to be even better.
Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. But September going to be heavy. Last September was nice. We had the Alma Fuerte, Salomon, Aladino, the Onyx, and the Brulee.
Creme Brulee. And I guess the reason I said that is because if there's a month to be in so far, it will be September, and I think it might be our best month.
Next month gonna be hell too, though.
The next month gonna be real good.
Yeah, next month gonna be hell too. And like I said, it isn't just piecing together cigars just for just getting them out. Like, we have fun, and like I said, we thoroughly get enjoyment seeing you guys get the boxes, seeing the pictures, and reading the posts and stuff. It's hey man, I might have to retire from Black Line after September, man. I just ain't gonna be able to handle it no more. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
If anybody has been paying attention to the smiles on our face, it's just gonna be like, number one, wham. Number two, because number one is the H in my head, and number two is the A. And I was like, oh shit! You get through 1 and 2, you're gonna be like wanting to fly to Pennsylvania and Memphis and kiss Ron and I. Then you can get number 3 with the I. I don't even remember what number 4 is at this point, but it's probably I think it's the L. It's the L. It is the L, and it's just gonna be like, whew.
It's gonna be heavy. And then it's gonna be heavy, man.
Oh man, that's gonna be that shit.
I might have to hit my sticker connect up too. I think last year September is when I featured the sticker. I think I'm gonna do another run of stickers and throw a sticker in there too, for their box. Perfect. Just out of pocket, I'll just throw another RonReal TV sticker in there for them.
Or maybe we just have something like "We are the best."
DJ Khaled, another one.
And another. I don't mean to be boisterous, but like I wish you all could just see the excitement, like when I'm not on live, and when Ron and I are talking behind the scenes and we're doing all this work. It's what we thought this could be when I talk about change. We thought this could be when we did this, like that moment. So I had a feeling based on a conversation that we could secure this deal.
Yep.
Ron knew that going into PCA, but when you actually sign the order form and you give them the money, it's real. It was just like, it was like day one, man, too, right? It was like, I don't even fuck. Why am I here now? I'm done.
Yeah. You were like, man, that's it. We got to take care of this first. Like, let me take care of this, and yeah.
So there is a reality that I might not open the club up in September.
I hate to say that, man, because like, but you almost have to though, because like you said, it's just gonna be a bombardment, being bombarded by messages and emails. It's just going to, because I think like just the fact that I'm not even surprised though, man. When they see a club feature, it's gonna be like, no, they didn't.
I already have 3 text messages.
I believe it, man.
I'm
with Messy Thrills, man. Shit, man.
No, I don't want to be that. I just don't want to be that club.
You
right?
ain't gotta be no, but it's like shit, man. We've worked hard, man. We've worked hard. It's almost like you work hard, get the championship. Shit, we in the championship. I'm finna drink some champagne today. I don't drink a lot, but I'm getting drunk as hell today. And then tomorrow we'll start back working on next year and being better. It's like, no, that's okay. But you know what? I say reserve that day for September. Then we'll reserve that day for September's black and white ass episode. Then you could get on there and talk your shit.
September sticker. You know what it needs to say? It just needs to say thank you, because that happens.
Yep.
Because of the club members.
Well, why don't we do 2 stickers?
So one of them. I answered one person. It's Scott, who used to work at the shop.
Yep.
So I told him, Scott, I'm gonna maybe butcher or take some liberties. It is fire emoji a couple times, and that's awesome. Holy fuck.
It's gonna be huge, man.
No, that you cannot order more than 1 box.
So yeah. The only way I would assume, James is in control of this, but the only way I would assume is if you already have. Yeah,
it is. I don't know. It was just. I don't think Hoodie God's still in the chat.
I haven't seen him in a minute.
So Sean has given me a lot of good business advice over the last couple months to grow and help things. And try to say how to say this, man. Like this, I guess the easiest way to say it, this moment, this deal in September, this box happens because of people like you.
Yep. Definitely.
And that's all I can say. Like, I'm just trying to tie it back to like the club, right? Like, you have early people who bought into us, who believed in a different product, believed in a different change, and you see this, treat the consumer with how they should be treated, do X, Y, and Z. It's all these usually typical catchphrases, but there's the authenticity of being real. And I feel like we've done that for over a year now. We planned before we launched. Like, Ron and I had everything mapped out, and I can't stress enough, man, the people like Mathis down in Florida, right? It stuck with me a couple times. Some of his box didn't show up, and I couldn't do anything, right? It's USPS, but he didn't say fuck you guys and walk away.
Yep.
We figured it out. Or
shout out to brother Craig Dukes and Keelan. Why I'm mentioning those guys.
I was just going to say that, right? Right. Craig's in the Philippines, right? That brother, and I'll just say it, like, I've had to use 3 different shipping companies. We got to do a couple different things to get him his box. I still do it every month because Craig's been in there from month 1, and I'm not losing Craig, a guy who wants to be part of this club, who wants to be in this journey.
Participates.
Yeah. Like, Craig's on every Zoom call at 7 a.m. in the Philippines when we're at like 9 p.m. at night, right?
Yep.
And Keelan, just joined last month. Like, his June box.
In Japan.
Yeah, like he has his July box, but his June box, for whatever reason, I'm on our 3rd try. Typically, APOs aren't a problem shipping, stuff there. And I'm not shipping him cigars, in case anybody's asking, because I can't ship cigars to APO. I'm shipping him a membership.
Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, so like, and Jerry, he just chimed in. Jerry's been in there.
Yep.
Jerry had a
Shout
friend.
Out to Jerry.
Jerry had a friend who left the club because of some timing issues on
some
my
issue,
end.
yeah, yep,
Yeah, like the dude wasn't happy. I gave him the answer I could. He didn't like it. It is what it is. I can't fight that, right?
and Jared's
I can only be.
still around.
But Jerry's like, listen, I see the quality in the cigars. I roll with you and Ron. Like Jerry's that dude.
Yep.
Like even like during the worst days, for whatever, like in Jerry's side of Florida, it would take 2 weeks to get the box there during like when it was really bad. But the other side of Florida took 3 days.
Yep.
But he understood, and it's like I really want to reward those people because they've been there from day one, man. They believed and they
Right.
want to roll with something different. And like I didn't value that enough until I talked to the hoodie god a little bit and he was giving me some things. It's like I don't want to say like there's this endless supply of cigar smokers because there's not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll own it. I didn't value you guys as much as I thought because I remember that one comment I said I thought we'd have more members. Like I should apologize for that. I need to apologize for that because I didn't value the quality of members that we had at the time.
And to put it in perspective too, because I know, like I said, it's human nature. You just raw emotion and you're just saying what's coming to mind. Sometimes it could be good, sometimes it could be bad. But comparatively speaking, think about some of the clubs that have been out there much longer than us that are nowhere close to where we are in impact or memberships. So it's like we're doing something right, and that's where I think where Sean's like, you got to be grateful for what you do have in front of you too, because it could always be much different. So.
Yeah, it could be very different, but we got lucky, Ron, and I'll own it.
We do. Like I said, we don't have a club of 5,000 or 6,000 people, but I ain't lying, man. And it's great for me because the people that are in the chat are people's names that I know. I'm familiar with them. Like that's how I like it.
I may be terrible. Like I know, like listen, like Mr. Clark 30, right? I know that's Sean. Missy or Messi. I forget the real name. You got to help me in SB. Forget the real name, but I know I've seen
SB
those.
Sammy. I know it's Sammy. He made a funny comment too. Yep. He said I'm gonna have to get my wife to join because she's technically a smoker too.
I ain't gonna. If you change that membership, I'm not gonna hate you. But like I may not know the names right away, but I know I've seen them since day one or day two, and man, it's just fucking beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Mm-hmm. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we've been really blessed to have some really, really good quality people, and this is again, we all have to start somewhere, right? Not saying, and I'm not taking this moment to shit on or say anything about people that are just starting to smoke, but it's nice to have members that have, a lot of the people that are in the club have been smoking far longer than me, and so it's nice to have those people that have been smoking 10, 15, 20 years. Shout out to Cowboy, like he's been smoking for 25 years or something. So it's nice when you've been doing something for 6 years and people that have been smoking 4 times, 3-4 times as long as you have can validate what you're doing. And, it's always nice to see that. And like James even said earlier, the way that the club was designed was to be geared more towards the seasoned palate or the more experienced smoker. But we've had some people that are just started joining the club. And I say it all the time too. You might not be able to pick out the flavor notes, not even just of me, but just a lot of different people. But if you can sit back and enjoy the cigar for what it is, then really at the end of the day, that's all that what matters is enjoying the cigar. So, I think, like I said, we're just really fortunate, man. We got a really good group, and it's not just that's why for me, that's why I've never liked really saying the word subscribers or members, because I feel like a lot of these people I talk to a lot outside of Black and White Ash and Black Line stuff, Mystical, Sammy, Sean, like I talk to these people. So I actually feel like I have a relationship with them. If I ever get on their side of town, I'm reaching out and we're going to meet up at a brick and mortar and smoking a cigar. Shout out to Horace in Texas too. That's my man. He came up a couple months ago.
Man, Horace was in Harrisburg, or he was close, and he didn't come see me. But he let me know every day. He's like, listen, I'm gonna try to make it over. He was at a professional development, and it didn't happen. But he said he'll be back up. So it was the same way with us too. So he was in town technically doing some personal stuff. And I told him, hey, this is where I'll be. If you can't make it, no harm, no foul. He ended up showing up. We hung out for a couple hours, burned a few cigars, talked some shit. And we got a relationship now. I haven't forgot about you either, Horace. I gotta send him some stuff out too. I've been so damn busy, man. I just haven't gotten to the UPS store. I'm over too. Mathis Bailey drove that big rig through Harrisburg.
Yep.
On Saturday, the day after we left for PCA.
I remember you telling me that.
So Nick and I were on a plane Friday. He was like, he messaged me Thursday. He's like, oh, I'm rolling through Saturday. Can't wait to see you and smoke. I was like, brother, we're going to be in Vegas. Took care of his order, had it ready to go.
Yep.
but it like broke my heart. The good thing is Brian Prentice is coming up in September for a
That's my
jazz
man too,
festival,
man. Yeah.
and so he is literally going to be 10 minutes away. So I said, Brian, I don't care what you do. You let me know when you have a moment. I will bring the cigars. I will bring the chairs, and we will sit and
I'll tell
smoke.
you what Brian will really appreciate too. I know he smokes Cubans too, but you pull out some Cuban or like, he's one of those guys too in the very beginning, man. He reached out, very genuine, just showed a lot of love, did some stuff he really didn't have to. So Brian, I know I saw him in here earlier, so I appreciate you too, man.
All right, so I'll break out the pre-embargo Davidoffs for him.
I think he'd appreciate that, man. I said it in the video too. So if you go back and look at the Partagas Lusitaneous review I did, that cigar was provided to me by Brian. And trust me, I that's why I don't really like a lot of people sending me stuff, because shout out to Greg Anderson. There's still some cigars, a couple cigars in there that he sent me. Matt Newman sent me the Dubai edition Opus X that's still in there that I haven't smoked. So I hate it, because I feel like I'm just on a timetable to try to get this stuff out soon. But you know me, man, I'm really mood dependent. If I don't feel like smoking something, I'm just not, man. You know, I just like to pick up a cigar when I'm ready to smoke it and smoke it. So
yeah, you are moody.
Yeah, I can be. So, you know, that's why I don't have any hair anymore. I was so moody, it just dropped all out, stressed out all the time.
Excuse me while I run my hair through my locks, my luscious, beautiful looks. Listen, my dad, you know, he's old and he's still rocking the mullet, so I'm hoping I get some good hair genes.
If he got a mullet, I think you're in good shape.
Yo, it's kind of a mullet. It's been modified, but you know, excuse me.
Yeah.
So Ron, there was two questions way back when. So one is asked if we're ever going to have Roma Craft in the club.
Quick answer, no.
No.
Yeah, quick answer.
We don't carry them. Yeah, we don't carry them. We stopped doing business with them, and there's some shit going on as of yesterday with them that it's out there if you know where to look.
Yeah.
And the second is kind of putting you on the spot, but I want the people to hear it directly from you in case they haven't heard it. You know, the 20 times I think you've talked about it. Is March Madness update.
As of right now, man, it's off. Like I said, I'm not gonna even do a long, drawn out answer or anything. Right now, it's off. Not to say, like I said, me and Eric were going through some, not going against each other, but me and Eric were both dealing with a lot of stuff personally at one point. We both are firefighters and are studying for a really hard promotional exam right now. So all I will say is all the footage is recorded, but you guys know what it takes with the production of even one video of that. So that's a lot of hours of editing on Eric's behalf, man. And just at the initial point right now, probably it's just not. So who knows? I might scatter something out. You never know. Like, but if I do end up putting the rest of the tournament out, I will do a live stream, or I will make sure I post it or something and let everybody know that the tournament will finish up here so you guys can watch it. I hate to do this. I really do, man. With all due respect to all of you, I at this point, like how everything went, but can't control everything. I wish it wouldn't have started, because I hated starting it and having to stop it in the middle of the tournament, but you can't control everything, man. Some stuff's out of your hands, and me being completely transparent and not lying to you, I don't know. The short answer is probably not, but I'm not going to say 100%. It's probably 85% done, 85-15. So.
Yep. Hey, listen, we don't run from anything.
No, and that's why, like, you'll see some people, they'll delete Well, I've mentioned that before too. Sometimes negative comments and stuff, they'll delete them. I never do, man. Like, because like I said, even James too, we both are human beings, man. Like, we aren't perfect. I mean, and I think that there's a level of transparency that's what people respect, and they're like, look, Ron or James fucked up, or they didn't do this, but I'm still going to rock with them. Because I think somebody initially, when it first happened, made the comment that I'm letting everybody down, and I was like, so fuck what we got going on, huh? It's just, you know what I mean? And this is a person, or whoever it was, probably wasn't even a person that's, you know what I mean? Like, shout out to Derek in Texas too, man. Like, there's certain people that it doesn't matter what I'm doing. They show month in and month out that they're just supportive of me, and I even said, I said, man, you don't have to do this. Nah, you've done so much for me as a cigar smoker, whatever. This is just my tithe to you every month. All right, cool. And then you got people on the other side of the spectrum that, for lack of better words, ain't gave you a damn dime, but they want you to do everything. Sorry, man. Like, I'm not that guy. Go watch somebody else. I don't beg anybody to watch me. If you don't want to watch me, there's 1,000 other cigar review channels, man. Like, there's some good ones, there's some shitty ones. I'll let you watch them and decide for yourself.
I am one of the shitty ones because I have one video up. Because that one video I did, no, that one video.
That one video did all right though. That was better than my first video when I first posted it.
That was the week though that all like those 3 big accounts all got locked up, and so I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. Yeah, I'm not gonna like sit here and waste my time when these strikes are coming down, and you can tell people are hunting for cigar content to.
Yeah. And you know, it's kind of chilled out a little bit, but that shit still ain't over. I still think that we have not seen the worst of it yet.
Yep.
So.
All right, so let's turn it over. Any questions in the chat for about the July box? Don't ask about September. I'm not telling you. Neither is Ron, hopefully.
Nope.
There's like 2 people that know just because they're trusted.
I ain't drinking enough wine to go start spilling yet.
Trust me. I made sure he drank rum or bourbon.
Oh yeah, I'm drinking a little bourbon. I'm drinking, for anybody that's curious, I'm drinking Colonel Taylor single barrel tonight. Hard to. This bottle's a couple years old. If you can find the small batch, they probably run around $55, $60 now. Technically, I think it's a better bottle because it's more consistent being a small batch. But if you find any Colonel Taylor single barrel or small batch is under $75, just do yourself a favor and grab a bottle. Just grab one.
Agreed. I don't even drink, but I know the value of it, so I buy it whenever I see it.
Yes.
If you walked in my house, you would think my wife and I like have really good liquor palates, but I'm around enough people to know good stuff. I buy it so when we have friends over and guests over, they drink all the good shit. Like I'm convinced. No, I love them. We golf like every other week. We've been friends since college. He always jokes like, "I'm coming over just because you got this," and I don't. My wife won't let me buy it. Yeah,
because the bourbon, I thought it was bad when I kind of jumped out of it. It's just gotten worse, man. There was a bottle. So there was a bottle of Colonel Taylor Seasoned Wood that came out probably in 2018, 17, somewhere in there. When I stopped kind of drinking and stopped really being in the bourbon community as heavy, that bottle was going for probably $350, $400 on secondary. At the moment, it is going for close to $2,000, I want to say.
Yep.
And at one point, I had 3 bottles, and I was drinking them like it was water.
Yep. So, John, the past box, they've actually been up, some of them anyway. They're kind of there. You have to search for them. I think they're called, it's like, if you just type 2020 or 2021 BLLCOTM, you'll see them come up. I will say one of them is out of stock already because of it's the September, man.
That joint was, I'm telling y'all, man, that September box was crazy.
Yeah, so
and that was only our 3rd month. That grouping was the 3rd month.
So I made a mistake. I have it open so you can still buy it, but it should say it's on back order. We blew through the Plasencia Almaforte Salomon. Like the amount of people that bought that box, like I have the Brulés, I have the Corojo Reservas, I have the Onyx. For whatever reason, as soon as I put that up, people jumped on that box and then they jumped on that cigar. And so we have a shipment from Plasencia coming in either Friday or Monday. So if you order that, you just got to give me a couple days and it'll be out the door.
And I think somewhere on the Black and White episode that we were talking about, you asked me like which boxes I thought were, and I think I remember saying September was going to be one of them. Because automatically, because December and January weren't going to be available, I said, September for sure will probably be the first one that goes. September or March.
Yep.
Whichever one of the Aroas we're in.
That one's done really well too. I will get July's up tomorrow then for people that want it. I just wanted to make sure I could get through everything. And if you want to buy July, the 1-year anniversary box, you'll be able to do that.
Right.
So Chris, is the tea coming back? The tea is gone for good. The tea is no longer, it has not been produced for a while because it was a 3-person collab between AJ, Booth, and Caldwell. I'll be honest, there's only one shop that's an hour and a half away that carries it that I actually had to drive to. We were coming back from a quick day trip at the beach and I knew we were driving by it. So I stopped and bought half their inventory just so I could get that month back up on the site. So like when you talk about commitment, and I'll just say like I paid full price for those cigars. I didn't pay what I should pay as a retailer. I paid full price as a consumer. So cards on the table, if you order that box, which please do, I'm losing money just so I can make sure that you guys get that box again. Because that also had Was that was the HVC 54
La Aurora. Yep.
Yep, and that Maestro del Tiempo, and it had the Padron 90th Natural.
Oh, that was month one. The Maduro tea was month two with the La Aurora, the
that's right.
Aladino Cameroon, and the Tyrannical Book.
That's right. So yeah, and
I remember it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Mine's terrible, obviously. I think it's just because I stare at cigars all day. But so I'm just full disclosure, like, so that tea is no more. If you can find it online, grab it. It's out. It's not there. It's no longer produced. So.
K-Mac, what's going on, brother? Sean said March was his favorite. Which we were on record. Yeah, which we were on record. We thought that box was great. And like James, this is not uncommon knowledge. James even said it. We lost a lot of members that month, man.
We got shit on that month.
We got shit on that month. We were really shocked. I think for like 2 or 3 days, me and James talked. I could tell like that. I mean, it bothered me too, but I know it bothered James. Like we were looking like, man, we've been around doing it. Like, damn, they thought that was a bad box.
I think a lot of people they went straight to that punch and they said, fuck this. Rather than, right, you can think of it 2 ways, or actually 3 ways.
Look at the punch is a free cigar. It was free.
So that was that's one way. Look at the punch is free. Don't bitch about it. Look as you paid for the punch extremely with a huge discount and you got another cigar free, or you go, shit, I got 2 fucking Aroas and I get to taste test which one's the better version that I personally like, so I now know which Aroa to buy.
Yep.
Like
both of those in one box. Like we were really proud. I'm still proud of that box. I don't care how many people we lost. Like I think that's still a good box. Like it's on record. It's on record with me saying the original first 20 is I don't know where it would fall, but that's still a top 20 cigar all time for me. It's always consistent. That's one of the few Maduro cigars that I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy every time I smoke it.
Yeah,
they just do a really good job with just tobacco in general.
Yep,
they just do really good. So, and I even still like the Colorado one. That's still a great cigar too, which is James' favorite. But it's like you just said, you get to smoke. Those are $15 cigars, so most people are going to walk past it because they don't want to spend their money for it.
Yep.
So I was shocked.
Yeah, so Big Tuz 30. I guess that's how you say it. 34. Yes, I talked to Cindy Saka, who's in the office a couple days ago. So Lee Mack did that wonderful video of the unicorn and sold me the shit out. And at the same time, people walked in because they saw Lee Mack's video and took it off the shelf. So it was like the inventory didn't sync within the same hour. Mm-hmm. And so some of you ordered the unicorn off the site and it was like 64 minutes and it didn't connect. And so some of you, all you have to do is wait till Friday or Monday. And of course, I'll discount you. I'm going to give you a partial refund for that delay. But it was like, so how our database in the shop and our database online, they're not instant. It's an hour delay. Mm-hmm. Something fucking A. And that was what happened. And it was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, love you, Lee Mack. Thank you. But like at the same time, brother, yep. it's the power. Lee Mack's got the power.
Oh, yeah. Chris said his Jocelyn. I'm assuming he's talking about the barber pole.
Hopefully the barber pole and not the Tyrannical Buck. So
no, he's talking about I think he's talking about that Mars bar.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe. I think yeah.
So here's the thing.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, Risty and Jocelyn Crawl. They're atypical. He's a good dude. Talk to him a lot offline. He's one of those relationships that Ron and I have really curated. Yep. Pun intended. But he is not your typical underfiller. He's always an overfiller. And so the best tip I can tell anybody for any of his cigars is dry box them, take them out of your humidor and let them sit on your counter for like an hour or 2, or put them in a wood box for a day. But then also you need to do this. So put it in your palm of your hand and roll them like this up and down. And it just loosens the leaf up a little bit. Like don't squeeze it and crush it. Just roll it, get it moving a little bit. And you're going to notice the airflow, the tight draw disappear, and it'll burn better. But he's pretty open about that. He doesn't run from like he overfills. He does it on purpose. Yeah.
The fun fact about Risty is he, not currently, but he used to be a very, very big Cuban cigar smoker. So he rolls his cigars tight on purpose.
Yep. And so that's directly from it, which is why we like Risty, and we've used 2 of his cigars to date. There will be more. Mm-hmm. It is because he's different, right? You walk by it if your store even carries them, and I know for a fact like there's only like 5 stores in Pennsylvania that carry them. or I should say, carry all of them, like all the way from the nugs, the toothpicks, all the way up to the car lots. You know, we've had all of his exclusives, or limited releases. Like, there's very few stores that actually carry his stuff because he kind of fits us. Like, he does what he does. He's
like
cigars.
a Keel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he could be bigger, but it's like I like what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to compromise who I am just to grow, which is the model that we're kind of going after. It's like, we like what we're doing, we grow organically, cool, but we don't want to compromise who we are just for the sake of numbers. So
yeah, and listen, I'll say it: smoke more of Jocelyn Crawl. You want, with all the shit that's going on in the industry right now, you want to have a good company that you want to believe in, and a good dude. Like, he's a little crazy, I've told him this, but he's extremely intelligent. Like, he does cyber IT and cybersecurity for a county in Indiana, and he's consulted on big state and federal projects. And then he does the cigar company at night. But he's incredibly intelligent. He knows a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and he's been a wealth of knowledge to me and to Ron. Yeah, and don't forget, he did that 4-hour Zoom with us that one day.
He did. That shit was nuts. Yeah.
So he's a good dude. He's a brand that I would recommend that people smoke more of. Like, the toothpick could be an everyday cigar.
Yes.
And
the regular one, yeah.
Yeah, the Maduro or the Habano with the Maduro. I don't say that about too many brands because I try to stay fair, but I'd smoke more if you have medical things, like your sore joints or you're older, or your sports are getting you. Give his nugs the 20 milligram or the 100 milligram a try. If you don't have, it's CBD, so it's not like you're going to fail a drug test or anything. If you're in the military, that's the only challenge, because that'll still flag you. But I smoke them personally just because I like to smoke them, and it helps me sleep tremendously well.
I had some gummy bears about a month ago. They put me on my ass.
I told you not to mess with that shit at TPE.
Shit, I got out the shower and popped a couple of those. About 20 minutes, I was yawning. That was some of the best sleep I done had.
Yeah, and that's you. So you can smoke a cigar and go to bed, and you wake up, you're like, I feel great.
Yep.
And he's a very innovative dude. Like, I don't want to put too much business out, but he's talked about it. Like, he patented the process. Other companies have offered him millions for that because nobody else can figure it out. Like, that's some next level shit here.
And that's a fact.
Yeah. All right. So are there any questions you guys have for Ron and I? Because I'm still getting cold.
Yeah.
I'm cutting some diamonds. Delta 8 will fuck you up, man.
Dude.
We got some pre-rolls in the shop, and I walk by them. I was like, that would be a good night. I'd sleep great that day.
Them gummies tore my ass up. I was like, man.
Was that no, I'm not. I was gonna pick. It was like that one night in Vegas.
No, I normally just eat one. And this one time I was at home, and my buddy was telling me about him because he's retired now, so it doesn't matter. But he uses them to go to sleep, and he was telling me, he's like, these are very strong. These are stronger than normal, so I only eat one. And he gave me two of them. I was like, well, have you ever eaten two? And he's like, nah. I'm like, all right, just pop two of them. I was like, no, won't do that ever again.
I'm gonna say it. That was probably the dumbest thing you've done.
Oh, it wasn't. I like 30 minutes into it, I was like, why did I do this shit?
And that's us thinking we could, run on 3 hours of sleep in Vegas.
Yep. But let's say so we got August coming up, which will be another great month. Any brands that which I know we don't have to talk about it now, but I know in the PCA you guys did a lot of work in there too. Yeah. Also want to say a huge shout out to everybody that's been smoking a lot more Illusione cigars. I've been seeing a lot of people commenting about Ypernays and things like that, one-offs. So I'm glad to see that. I'm sure Dion's happy about that too. We've been able to build a personal relationship with him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anybody or maybe I know like Adam is in the chat. Some people saw. I was on Kevin from Cigar Props channel about 2 weeks ago. We did a call with Dion, and he's always a wealth of knowledge, man. As far as not only cigars, but he's into some real crazy shit too. He's into aliens and all kinds of stuff too. So that was a fun Zoom to be on. And he's one of those guys that somebody made a comment that I didn't talk a lot on. It's like when certain people talk, man, you just sit quiet and listen. And Dion's one of those guys. He knows so much, man. I just sit quiet and just listen to what he says.
Meeting him at Vegas was a trip.
Yep.
He's as advertised, and it was really humbling though, because
then I hear in person he's like 6'10" or 6'11". He's like really tall ass dude.
He ain't short.
Yeah, you can see. I think I saw the picture with you, and I know you're tall, and he was like dwarf. He's dwarfing. I'm like, damn, how tall is this motherfucker? Like,
what's the golf outing? So we, how do I say this nicely? I reluctantly took over a golf outing that was using my name that I wasn't planning and wasn't happy about. So there used to be this podcast on iHeartMedia that was recorded in our lounge, and they used to have a golf outing, and they disbanded during COVID, and they just decided not to get back together, but they wanted to keep the golf outing going. And so they positioned it. It's like, oh, it's the Black Lion Luxuries and Harrisburg Beer and Cigar golf outing. And they were planning all of it. And I kind of looked at Nick. I was like, I'm not really happy that my name of the company, the name of the company I run and manage is being used without my involvement.
Right.
And so I kind of like said some things and took it over. So that's what it is, Sean. It's a lounge golf outing, like most typical, like Spartan does one that I think Lee's involved in some capacity. But you know, we were big into donations for Operation Cigars for Warriors and a couple other things. So we really use it just to promote other nonprofits and allow them, get them visibility and make sure we take care of people. So that's the whole point of our lounge out, is just to have a good time, smoke some really good cigars, and to then support those other places and other organizations.
And Drew,
so anybody,
I would say Drew Bonnick asked a question about the club, James. He was saying if he joined the club today, what box would be his first package? You would be getting.
I guess, I mean, I can break the rules. Drew,
yeah.
If you are
technically, after the 15? Yeah, you'd be getting the following box.
But yeah, Drew, since you're on and you're chatting and active, if you would like July's, I can send you July's, and then we can talk about your next payment date and get that adjusted so it's not on the 25th like everybody else's, and then you can get August's box as well.
And so A-Rod, I didn't get a chance to stand next to him. I know he would make me look even smaller. I'm not a short guy, but James is much taller than me, and Dion was like, you could tell Dion's a tall dude.
Yeah, Ronald's son didn't want to fly out to Vegas with this time. He had to go play a family vacation and study for a test. He didn't want to actually work. He just wanted to reap the reward.
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing. Sean, it is Monday, September 20th at a links golf course local to us. Beautiful course.
Speaking of golf too, I know you got some people in here too, maybe that hadn't seen it, but you released Black. I don't know if anybody knows, but I'll let James talk about it after. We do have a new logo now, and today James introduced a new Nike golf T-shirt or polo shirt. Sorry, not T-shirt. So if anybody's interested in that.
Yep. So it's been talked about for a while. Requested. I just didn't pull the trigger because I knew the new logo was coming. Yep. Went through a couple different iterations. Thank God. It's been met with good response, man. I've had one person tell me it was bad, but it's because they were they are good friends with the people that ran the site before me.
Yep.
And so they got offended, and I kind of I gave them my reasons, and they didn't. You could clear it was a biased reaction. I was like, all right, whatever, cool, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a night and day difference. It's not even close.
Yeah, I can actually fit things in a perfect, square.
That was the problem. It was just so stretched out. You couldn't,
Yep. So the new polos are out. We're currently taking pre-orders for 2 weeks. And I did that because I talk about the business strategy that Ron and Nick and I have. Like, I'm not going to order 50 polos or 50 sizes of each 50, whatever. I'm not going to order 50 sizes.
Of each size and then only sell 30 shirts.
Right. Because listen, that money, in my opinion, that money should always be spent on cigars, right? A polo was very nice. Don't get me wrong. Like when we wore the new polos to PCA, I had brand owners and reps are like, yo, man, give us one. We'll wear it for you. It's a great logo. We love what you guys are doing. And so I've got some of them I need to take care of. But that's why we're doing pre-orders. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you wear one. We got a lounge and a club member, Troy. His buddy is out of Pittsburgh that does t-shirts. So he's going to be doing some custom t-shirts for us that have a little, cool, fun design. So we'll have like the serious golf polo if you want to wear it on casual Friday or something. It's a Nike dry fit, so it's a high quality one. I try not to be a brand whore unless it comes to polos because I wear them 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's going to be out there. I will have a female nice shirt, you know, for the Sisters of the Leaf out there coming soon. I have a giant 30 count travel humidor that's on its way. And I'll be honest, I'm going to tell you what's in it. Well, you'll buy it, but there's 10 cigars. It'll be 2 Supreme Leaf Corona Gordas, 2 Opus X, 2 Andalusian Bowls. And I forget the rest, but they're kind of like the high end cigars.
Yeah.
And I want to do is just a night. I sent you that photo. I forget what
You
they
did,
all
yeah,
are.
you did.
As a kind of just like, hey, listen, we don't do a lot of these things. If you want it, I'll reward you for spending the kind of money. So it's one of the big ones, you know, that has the trays of not styrofoam. What do they call
that? Like not memory foam, but
you know what I'm talking about.
You've
seen those trays of 10.
Yeah.
Sean
asked a good question too, and actually I saw it earlier. I just didn't get a chance to answer it. Keelan was asking, he was like, maybe y'all could try to get some Añejos in the club in December. The problem is with that is it'll be an inventory nightmare trying to find, or I'll take that back. In the really, really popular sizes that I know that we both really like, that would be very hard. We could probably put them in there, but it's like, again, that's one of those cigars I don't just want to put an Añejo in there just to have one in there. It would you already know one of the 2 sizes that I would want to use, and those would be very hard to get. So Sean was asking about that too. He was asking about the Fuente Padron collab. Is it still coming out, and hoping that'll be in the club? That would probably be a really hard one to get in there too, Sean. It would be much easier if we had like 30 people, but you know.
Yeah, legit. That's probably, I'll be honest, that's probably more a select thing.
I didn't want to say that until you did, but I was gonna say if any of that showed up anywhere, it would be select. Just because the sheer volume alone is just much easier to manage.
Yep, because like how Fuente does stuff, like, or at least in my experience the last couple of years, when it comes to those rare limited releases, they don't actually let you order them. Your account standing, so you know you have to spend. I'll pull up the curtain back. Like you have to spend X number of dollars on core line stuff, right? On the Hemingways, on the Reserva lines. Yeah. So like so like that dictates what you receive. So they don't just look at you and be like, oh great, you're a Fuente account, you'll get 2 boxes of this. It is, you get this. Right. Because you've done X. It's the same with Aganorsa, right? The only reason we get Supreme Leaves and Rare Leaf is because we're Aganorsa Select. We spend enough money, and we have enough people that, and theirs is tied to social media too, that tag us on social media and promote us, that we get access to those. And so, each company has their own rules, and it's kind of cool to actually make all the numbers work. And so, yeah, but so I would say realistically, I don't think we'll be able to get 700-800 at that point for the Fuente. So we have them in the shop, and I think we have 40 of each size max.
Yeah. Thank you. Shout out to Black Bourbon Family too. Is another good question. Anticipate Select Club increasing membership. We haven't talked about it in a while. It's July now. The end of the first quarter will be the end of August. So I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe towards the middle of August, maybe me and James will have a conversation and see. But even if we do it, we've already had a number. We already said we really probably want to go over 50. So if we did, that's probably the number. And then once it got there, we probably stopped, because people that are in it, I'll say it too, right? Because I can. So like the whole point of it, because we knew like when people posted pictures and things, it would drive quote controversy, because people would see, like, oh, I want in on that too. The thing was that we wanted those people to, but it's still nice to see you guys posting pictures, because we know that means that you genuinely are enjoying it and liking what you're getting too. But that the cigars that if you go online, you can see the pictures of what people are getting, and you'll understand once you see it that it just would be impossible if we had 200 members in the Select to try to get some of these certain cigars. That club was just intended for James. James and Nick gave me the opportunity because they know a lot of cigars that I wanted to use in the first 6 months in the club were cool, but then they kept coming back and saying inventory. So Select was brought about where it was kind of like you got kind of free range. The price of the club is higher, but we also tell you no a lot less than the regular club. So the only way to keep that going is to keep the numbers small. If we keep those, if the numbers keep growing, then I start hearing no a lot more. And James knows I hate hearing no. So
Yeah. I mean, there's already one cigar that I'll say it. It's the LFD 25th.
yep.
Getting one damn box of it's been a challenge.
And it's
Literally
25 in a box, and that's all we needed. Like, was just one box.
And we picked the 25 member number based on that one box.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be in the first month, and we haven't been able to get it in. So
and they and apparently that's because somebody was asking about them at PCA, and I was like, shit, I didn't expect to see them there. They're having enough issues with back orders.
I can
They
only
get hit
say
hard
right?
too.
Yeah, I can only say every company has back orders. Like even the big
Right.
dogs.
This is true.
It's a challenge right now. So we are very lucky that we've been able to keep it up. The select will grow. It will. That I know it will grow. It's just when. Yep. I'm a little pissy at myself though because we did one cigar that was aged this month. And I was talking to Eric Espinoza, and he had like told me it's his favorite cigar. And I was like, and he said it. I was like, oh, the ones in the tin. He goes, shit, you have them in the tins? That's the first release. I was like, I know. And he's like, well, I want to buy all of them. I was like, oh, fuck, I just sent them all to my members.
Yep, they're gone.
It was like, shit. So it's just funny how the world works sometimes.
Yeah. Adam, and that's why I wanted to use it. You guys know if you watch my top cigars of 2020, that was in there. Like, just like the 1994, I love the 25th anniversary as a good change of pace because it smokes so much different than regular Flor Dominicana releases. And it's just a damn good cigar, and it's a nice size. So that's when you look at it, it's like, damn, it's $20. But then you look at it and you smoke it and you see the smoke time on it, you're like, okay, I get it. So I agree. It's a very, very good cigar, one of my favorites. But that was the only issue we've had so far. Like James said, with Select. He called me and was just like, I know you want it, but we can't get it. So it's like, I literally responded back. I said, well, what can we do? Like, I mean, I can't be mad at you. You know, the cigars just can't come in. So.
Well, let me ask. Well, we got an active audience here. You know, I know there's some people like Martin down in Texas and Adam.
Yeah.
You guys are, and I know there's others that you're pretty engaged in following. What cigars from PCA that you saw either wrote about, you saw maybe us post about? Like, what are you most? What excites you? I would love to hear what some of the people have seen coming out new that they think is great, because hopefully that means we bought them because there was a number that we did buy. I'm just curious what everybody saw coming out of either, whether you're reading half of those daily recaps or brand recaps that you're looking forward to. Yeah. I know MJ's looking forward to the HVC 10th anniversary. He's looking forward to the Monte Cristo Blue, which was announced at TPE, but is finally being released here. It was supposed to be out at the end of July, but now it's in August.
Crown Heads had a hell of a lot of releases out in PCA. I saw that.
Well, you know, we bought a couple.
Yep. I'm trying to think who.
And I got to meet. Man, let me tell you how pissed I am. I had like a perfect Instagram post plan. I FaceTime Ron, talking to Huber, and I took a picture, and for whatever reason, the picture didn't save. I was a little pissy.
Oh, damn.
And so I had to go back, and I just got another photo with Huber, but I was looking forward to that. That was probably one of the best.
Yeah, I told him I got to get back to Nashville sometime soon and just pop up on him and smoke cigar. I bought one. I just bought one of his hats today too. That blue hat he just released. I bought one today.
Me too.
Dude,
let me know.
I don't care what nobody says, man. He got the best hats. Period. I hate that he was telling me his new era deal is they just are so backordered with filling other stuff that's why he hadn't been doing any new era hats. But man, his hats are always just and even back then when I first started smoking, when I got on social media, that was like the first thing I saw with them. I like their cigars, but I was seeing all these hats. I'm like, damn, man, how does a cigar company doing new era hats? You know, it was a big deal. But then he told me the relation and how he was able to get that tied in. So
yeah. All right. So Drew, I'll take care of you. That's easy, buddy. So the new CLE, Ash said we ordered all of them, the Cameroon and the 2 PCA exclusives. They looked beautiful. I mean, it's typical CLE, man. That box press was beautiful. I mean,
I even want to smoke the Asylum.
Yes, we ordered it.
I even want to smoke that. All of them look good, like you said.
Nick, so they have the Asylum set up weird, or in like the coffins, and so it was the 9, but it looked like it was the 990, that joke cigar.
Oh my God,
and so Nick's like, I'm not ordering that. I was like, no, look underneath it. So we ordered that one. What about the new Espinosa? Smokes great. So I
You
smoked it
told
with
me
Eric
that.
in person. Excited about that. The Paladine Saka. I don't have my sample. Nick has it. Ordered that. The Stillwell I did smoke. I smoked in front of Lafferty and Saka. I had the aromatic version. We ordered all of them, 15 boxes deep. I'm really excited for that. So we'll have a sampler up. It'll be 4 cigars for $59.99.
EP Carrillo for sure. I know y'all. Yeah, that
We
took care of that.
Yep. Yep. All the crown heads. Of course, we took care of crown heads, right? I'm not walking into that booth with Ron as a part of the Black Line team and walking out of there empty-handed.
Yeah, and then on top of that with Huber, but then we both like Luciano a whole lot too. Got a chance to smoke the Fiat. We actually got a chance to smoke the Fiat Lux in May.
We were the first people to really smoke it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So everything Saka. We got the new Tricky Traco that's coming out. Unknown. Like we picked up a couple unknown brands. We picked up one just because I thought they were an influencer, thanks to Ron. But, in fact.
Oh man, yeah, that was a huge. Yeah. That was.
In fact, that person actually owns the company.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was just a misunderstanding between me and James. That was funny. That was a funny story. Like, yeah, I walked up and said this, and they were just looking at me. I'm like, well, yeah, man.
You should have seen Nick's face. He's like, "Fuck is wrong with you and Ron?" It's like it's all good. It's all good.
Like that's royalty, man.
Oh yeah. They got some history there.
Yeah, Jerry. Yes, there is a shortage right now of the leaguers right now. Everybody's having issues with, and then
it's bad.
If a normal store is getting 15, they're probably lucky to get 5 or 6 because they're trying to scatter what they do have. And so what I was told, there was a Drew Estate event here, and James had one recently too, so I know he knows the same information. The rep was telling me that Drew Estate normally rolls around 180,000 cigars a day. When COVID was shut down, they had to cut that down to about 80,000. Now they're ramped up over 300,000 a day getting caught up. So it's going to come back, but you just have to, he just told me, he looked at me in my face and said, just be patient, but they're getting produced. So yeah, there's a huge league of shortage though.
Yeah, like it's to the point where I think I have them all sold out online, and we have a couple boxes, but we're holding them just because we don't know when we're going to get them again.
Right. And the only leaguers that were here locally were the T52 Corona sized.
The Corona Doble or the Corona?
Yeah, Corona Doble. That was the only size that they even had at the event.
Yeah.
There was no leaguers there.
Well, we were a little better. We had 8 different sizes at the event, but they all went quickly.
Yeah.
Because our rep was saying the same thing you were saying. So.
Yep. Can you imagine that dude 360,000 cigars being rolled a day?
And you still can't catch up. It's bad. I don't think people. And
they're
so
rolling. To put this into perspective for people that really don't understand. HVC, Rainier Lorenzo will go on record and say per year he's doing about 260,000 cigars. They're rolling more than Rainier does in a year in a day.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's a factory there.
So here, and the other problem is, there's no boxes to be made.
Yep, a big box issue.
Yep. So the good thing with the club is we ask for everything to become in bundles anyway. So we're getting lucky, but there just literally are no boxes available to be put in.
Yep. Yeah, Sammy, that's a good question. Or definitely, he said, hopefully the quality control is up to par. Yeah. Because not Drew Estate, but just cigars and period. That's honestly why I haven't been buying, unless it's older stock. Why I haven't been buying as much new stuff, because a lot of the cigars I've been smoking lately, I can tell that their quality control is a little off, and they're being rushed out. They're not sitting as long as they probably really need to. And I understand these factories have been running at 50% or lower capacity for 8, 9, 10 months. They're trying to get capital coming in. So, but ultimately it is hurting the product though. So
I will say you are going to see Ron and I in the selection scale back our companies we're working with for that reason.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a negative way, but we are looking at our commitment and our consistency concern, and how do we save that and make sure that's front and center. And so we're pulling back from some brands that I don't want to say will have quality QC concerns or quality issues, but we are concerned about it just as an industry. So we're kind of sticking with some of the companies that we know will never sacrifice that.
Right.
So you might see one or two new companies, but it's really because Ron and I and Nick did a lot of research behind the scenes before we went into that booth. We wanted to know more about the workers, the company, the family history, if there is any there. And we were asking other companies that we knew had relationships. When I say we did some work, this was
like Regis is a great company because think about it. All his cigars are being produced by Placencia. They're like the #1 grower in Nicaragua. So so leaf is not going to be an issue for him because he's not, you know what I mean? So like you said, if we're going to pick in new companies, we're doing a lot of homework, making sure we're looking, and Regis has been around for a decade. It's a lot that's going to go into it because what you're going to experience is you're going to end up smoking a lot of cigars that have some age to them for the first time, and you'll really enjoy that cigar. And then you'll go out and smoke it again, and it's not going to smoke like you remember. You're like, man, this cigar ain't as good. It's not. Doesn't have the age, or hadn't been sitting as long as it needs to. So that's the problem that we're trying to eliminate. So
and that's tough because there are some companies that want to do business with us, and we want to do business with them. But we said we didn't tell them, and and it's not. Like I said, I hope we're wrong, but we just kind of want to pull back a couple companies and just focus on what we know and the factories that we know and trust.
Right.
And that's a tough thing to admit out loud, right? You want to always say what's hot, what's new, what's unknown, but those unknowns pose their own set of challenges.
And here's the thing for me too, like you just said, look, I like hot and new cigars just like everybody else too. But when it comes to running the club and making sure you guys are satisfied every month, consistency is #1 for all of us. I'd much rather have a consistent product every month than to just be trying to ride on what's hot and what's new. So
Yep, you're not wrong there. All right, looks like Hoodie God's out.
Yeah, we've been up for 2 hours.
Shit. We even have that many people on. We still got a good amount of people watching. I always think people will get bored by watching us.
I don't know. Yeah, I tell people all the time, I say, I'm a boring person, but
we are not exciting. We don't have fun music. We don't have fancy cameras. I am fat. I'm not the prettiest guy,
I'm bald. I ain't got no hair.
Yeah, you are bald. That's the truth right there. He's so bald, he didn't even have to shave at my house when he was up here. It was just not there. I thought maybe it was like, he chose. I was like, man, I
brought it just in case because I think if I would have stayed 1 or 2 more days, I was going to have to shave, but I didn't have to touch it. I was like, all right, it's cool. I wish it was something I could put on my head to stop it from growing because shaving is a pain in the ass, man. Normally I shave every other day. I usually shave every other day. I got this new blade she gave me that like gets it real low, so I don't have to do it every day. So that was
nice. I'm still pissy all those cigar shops were closed when you were up here.
Man, I'll be back though.
Yeah, it's just smoking really good.
Aladenos are just solid, man.
I know, but you just never know with a 9x48. Really fucking good for a $20 cigar.
Yeah.
I'm outside. There's no moisture affecting it. Killer stash, though.
My wife hates it. She hates. I said,
well,
man, it's whatever.
You gotta deal with it.
Yeah, you gotta deal with it. You'll be all right.
First time, sorry. I'm a new smoker.
Oh, I gotta tag you in this video I saw too, man. Speaking of coughing and smoking, I'm gonna tag you in this video. It's when I tag you, you'll understand the references. You'll get a good laugh out of it.
Is it a still shot of a cigar and grass like Lee Mack did? Because I'm not gonna laugh.
No. So it was when the Bucks won the championship. They were celebrating. They were doing something, and there was a guy in the background, like probably a ball boy or some shit. He's back there smoking a cigar. You could just tell he never smoked. He was like blowing smoke out and shit. And it was just perfectly in the back of the video where you had to be paying attention. Like, who the fuck is this new dude smoking a cigar? Like, nobody didn't tell him not to inhale.
So which Bucks? Because I don't know if you realize, right? Tampa Bay Bucks and Milwaukee Bucks.
Milwaukee Bucks. Damn, I good call. Yeah, Milwaukee. I'll tag you in that video. It's hilarious.
Jerry, I don't need the fluff either. You just can't see it because it's under the camera in my belly. My wife's been cooking good lately. We had some lamb chops tonight that I was fucking.
Oh, that's some of my favorite stuff there.
I know. And I was just like, we got any more? She's like, yeah, I made a couple for you for lunch. I was like, there we go.
Yeah, I could eat lamb every day.
Man, it was lamb and Brussels sprouts. It was a damn good meal. I
I
got
do some rice with it, some grilled
nah,
onions
we
and
just
peppers or something. Shit.
nah, it was she did like this honey glazed salted
Mm-hmm.
Brussels sprout shit, and then we had some corn on the cob, but my style where it's got like the that Mexican corn on the cob they do.
Yep. Like the
So
street corn.
yep. So I like that. I like that heat that it brings to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it really opens up the lamb for me as a good waste of a good wife. Church.
Man, so he
What did I miss?
Keelan must have saw it too, dude. It was like it was kind of obvious, but
Oh,
it was so funny though. It was like because it was like, oh damn, somebody back there smoking, and all you see is the plume of smoke blowing out. Like that was his first cigar. Somebody probably had to cut it and shit for him too.
I'm gonna guarantee those were like 2021, so they probably weren't even aged anyway.
Oh no, they just handing them out because somebody did say that. Somebody was like he's smoking, or Giannis was handing out aged Cubans. I was like, really?
Aged?
That's what
Man,
that's what they said.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I saw the box. They were definitely Cuban cigars, but it's like at the same time, I don't know if you're that guy giving him aged Cuban cigars, like you gotta like talk Giannis out of that, brother. Like there's champagne flying everywhere. You got sweat.
Or if it's me that's giving it to him, I would try to. I guess Romeos are kind of. I hate to say that, but I guess they depending on what they are. I guess like Cazadores and stuff are kind of cheaper. So, but hell no, I ain't handing out like no aged Bahiques or no Trinidades or Bolivars for y'all to be chugging champagne and
Yep.
smoking an inch of it and throwing it away and stuff like. Nah, it would have to be like some Gueras or something like that.
Juan Lopez.
Yeah, somewhere it's like it's a Cuban, but it ain't like
504. I'm gonna say with Giannis's international connections
they
that
probably were.
yeah, they probably were real Cubans.
Like
That would be
like James just said, they probably weren't like 10-year-old Cubans, and then they probably maybe at most a couple years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even say that might be a stretch because it's surprising. I mean, me and James talked about this a couple months ago too. We haven't been buying as many Cubans lately as we have for whatever reason, but like it's people. I would do Cuban reviews and stuff, and it was like people would. That's like it's not hard. I mean, I'm saying this whatever, but it's like it's not hard to get Cuban cigars.
Well, it's not. It's really not.
It's really not, man. Like, you got a credit card, they coming straight to your house. Like, not saying that that's what I've done in the past, but like they get to your doorstep with just a credit card. Like it's not hard. The biggest pain in the ass is the time it takes to get there. You used to getting in-state shipping in 3 to 5 days, and you got to wait 20 days or 21, whatever.
Yep.
They were smoking Wild Church. That's what they were. Wild Churchills. Damn.
It's not a bad cigar.
I was gonna say I actually got a box of 10 upstairs. I smoked one. I posted the picture I posted on Instagram. It was a Wild Churchill. I was just seeing where they were. They still need some time, so I won't be messing with them probably for another year.
That's the sad part. You just gotta wait.
Okay, so Keelan said the Bucks thought they were gonna win 2 years ago, so they were at least that old. So that's why I say I figured at the most probably 2 or 3 years old. It wasn't probably like some crazy.
So Drew, yeah, if you ever get a chance to talk to Risty about Cubans, don't, because it will wreck your world.
Yep.
Is all I'm gonna say, because that man, he knows more than most of us have ever forgotten.
And Messi, I would definitely be skeptical. I've had people in the past and locally here trying to give me stuff, and I'm like, I'm good, man. You keep your cigars and stuff. They try to hand you Cubans and some of the stuff, the bands and some of the cigars you see, it's just like, But when you're not informed, you just don't know. So that's why I was saying even earlier in the live stream, you got to do your reading, you got to do your research. If anything that you're gonna get involved in, make sure you do enough homework. That way, when somebody does try to push some shit off on you, you'll know. So
yep.
I didn't put them out on Front Street or anything. I was just like, nah, thanks for the offer, but I'm okay. I don't want it. So
yeah, it's tough to say no sometimes, but
Well, like me and you were talking. You hand me. Like I know, like I've always said too. Your sources a lot are really important to take a cigar from you because I know, or Dan or somebody like I know where it's coming from, but just somebody just randomly like, nah, man, I ain't. No. Now it'd be different if they brought in a box of cigars and I could look at it and tell, okay, I might grab one out of there. But if you just bringing in one random cigar, like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong.
Anything else? I would say anything else we need to talk about the
I don't
box.
think
We
so.
talked about August.
Nobody. No, I mean, I just really hope you guys enjoyed the July anniversary box and put a lot of hard work into it. Like I said, that box was curated over 2 days of in person with the cigar companies. Everybody we talked to was there at TPE, which is how it came to be. Really, really proud of Regis. Really like the feedback we're getting on that cigar.
Keep
shameless
smoking them too, man. If you enjoy them, man. I tell you guys all the time, if you like these brands and stuff, make sure these guys keep the lights on. So smoke these guys cigars.
Yes. We'll see more from Adventura in the future, most likely. Henderson wants to do a lot of business with us, and we'll mix it in as appropriate. HVC is obviously here to stay with us.
Yep.
It's one of our favorites. You'll see them more and more. And then, Henry Clay's the Warhawk. We appreciate. I will say this, Ron. After a couple months of where we've done Altadis stuff, where we did the the Romeo and Julieta Eternal, which was Placencia.
Mm-hmm.
We've done the Henry Clay. What else have we did the Onyx.
Yep.
That was way many moons ago. But I really appreciate you guys trusting and believing in us and really smoking cigars, and not letting the band influence you. Whether it hits your palate or not, obviously, is the wild card. But we promise we're giving you cigars with good quality tobacco, good quality control, good aging processes. And I just can't say thank you enough for 12 months, man. 12 months, brother.
12
we
months,
did it.
Man.
We hit the first benchmark.
I think it's kind of like that first year. I think was like the telltale sign. Like, all right, we're here to stay. Like putting in 12 months of hard work, consistency. And I think that's why the past 3 or 4 months is when we finally been starting to get some love because people are like, okay, it's not a gimmick. These guys are actually here to put out a high quality product every month. Like they're here.
Yep.
We got to deal with Black Line Luxuries. This is another competitor we got to deal with. Sorry about it. We here.
We here. We
here.
Yeah, well, thank you, P. Raw. I know it's tough, right? Like we have no secrets. We really do our best, and we're not going to run from who makes a company or who makes a cigar. And like I said previously, under Rafael Nadal's leadership, I think you're really starting to see some better releases from Altadis. You're seeing some brand revitalizations, and you're seeing a guy who's for entry into the community in the cigar industry was as a boutique maker, an aging room, and whether you don't let the aging room #1 cigar of the year influence you, because like I have my opinions on it. Ron likes that cigar a lot more than I do. But he still was a boutique guy at heart. And, then imagine a boutique guy getting the controls and the resources that he now has as Altadis. And that's changed, right? I guess that's the easiest way to say it.
I would agree. Yeah. I was just reading some of these comments, but I was gonna say the Eternal actually is doing really good here locally. That's how I know for sure people enjoying it too. The price point was very good. It wasn't a $20 or $30 cigar. It was priced appropriately, and it's Placencia and Raphael's killing it, man. He's a very good blender. I've respected Raphael for a long time, and every time I see him, every chance I get, I tell him, man, if you run across some M19s or M20s, I gotta have them. And then he looked at me and was like, "Never know what the future may hold." So I'm always looking forward to seeing what he's got.
I'll say you had some one-on-one time with Raphael that I still don't know what you guys talked about, and I'm excited for what that means.
Yeah, he's a real cool dude too. I like him a lot. He's a guy like me, loves a good cigar, loves a good glass of whatever spirit he's drinking. He likes good food, real down to earth guy. And what I like about him too is you've seen it too at these conferences. Some of these brand owners that other people are glorifying, we see them in person and they're just complete assholes, completely Hollywood. And you would think with Raphael running and being a master blender of a multi-million-dollar company would be maybe in that category. He's just completely not. If he starts to talk to you, you get his undivided attention. He's great eye contact. He's listening to you. That means a whole lot because, like you said, I'm just a regular guy, so you don't owe me anything. You know what I mean? You're a successful blender, brand owner. You've been doing this for years, so He's another guy. I always support what he's doing too. He's had very good success with the even Trinidad, all this stuff. And I think, and I like that because everybody always has a pre-connotation of Cuban brands that have been bought out by the non-Cuban market. So certain people just see that and like, I'm not smoking it because it's not Cuban. Whereas before he got around there, maybe so, like a lot of the cigars maybe weren't as good, but his blending style is definitely, even though they don't smoke like Cuban cigars, he's showing you that even though they have the Trinidad or Bolivar, whatever name, putting out some good products. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, if the cigar is good. So like I say all the time, you can't smoke the band, man.
Yeah. Listen, Keelan, you can avoid JRs all day, man. You come deal with a small company that actually cares about having one more customer.
Yep.
And I don't want to talk mean, but it's one of those, are they too big to fail kind of situations.
Right.
It is what it is. But yeah, Altadis, they've turned the ship around. I think, I remember a conversation you and I over 2 years ago having about the big brands versus, the legacy brands versus boutiques. And it's been nice to kind of be able to peel back the curtain in person with those guys and the leadership teams and see what they're doing and how they're doing differently. I guess that's the thing that's really been influencing us is it's no bull. We're not reading it from Half Will or Cigar Coop. We're actually talking directly to the people.
And then, before we get out of here too, I want to put a bug in everybody else's ear too, just to go to sleep on it or chill out on it, really think about this. So the club that we're doing, we want to make a really good balance. I have a very good friend here that runs a local cigar store, and James knows him. And I told him, I said, man, you carry great cigars, but it's all boutique. You got to carry some heritage stuff in here too. And I'm saying this to say this for you guys to remember this. The FDA we've dodged that bullet so far, but what if that bullet doesn't get dodged on down the road? All these brands that we've grown to know and love, a lot of them will disappear. And guess what? You're still a cigar smoker. You still want to smoke a good cigar. Guess what? Now that Trinidad doesn't look so bad. Now that Romeo and Juliet or Eternal doesn't look so bad. You got to really start thinking about a lot of this stuff too, man. So when you start getting on a different level, you start to think about a lot of other different things, man. You can't think about 5 minutes from now. Start thinking about 5 years from now, and that's how you stay ahead.
So. Well, and maybe not. This probably doesn't apply to our group of people because they're knowledgeable, right? The pride is they're smart cigar smokers. When everything was closed during COVID, and we got all the phone calls. Obviously website traffic was up, but more from the walk-in perspective, the names were Romeo and Julieta, Monte Cristo, H. Upmann, CAO. Those were the names that people they knew what their cigar looked like. Thank the Lord, I got a pretty good picture. I can remember what it's Blue Band, it looked like this,
right?
But the names that people would remember were all those legacies because they've been around for a while. So it was very interesting. Even people I knew that were boutique smokers, they couldn't remember the names of the brands.
So you got to go back and smoke heritage.
Yeah, and so it was fascinating. Like I said, I know it didn't apply to our people because they know their stuff in and out, and they know the brand, they know the line. And so it was very, and they knew their Vitola too. So it was very interesting. That was the one thing I don't talk about a lot is the amount of people like, well, I know I normally smoke this cigar, but I know I liked the Monte Cristo White 10 years ago.
Yep.
And they took the Monte Cristo White every time because they weren't 100% sure. That was fascinating to me just because, like I said, I know what I smoke, and most of the people in this room, on this YouTube live, they know what they smoke. But there's a lot of people that just didn't, and they wanted something.
Right. So that goes right in line with what I was saying. It's just like you just don't know, man. You just don't know. So keep that in mind, and we'll get ready to get out of here. Thank you guys again for tuning in to the 5th episode of Black and White Ash. Again, I want to say congratulations to everybody for the 1-year anniversary. Huge milestone. Let's make it another great 12 months. A lot of big stuff playing, a lot of new projects, a lot of great cigars you guys are going to be seeing. We just are completely having fun doing this. And don't forget man, I see a lot of people that are forgetting that
use your coupon code.
Use your coupon code. And if you're a Patreon member, you get 20% off. So don't forget this stuff, because I'll see comments and people like, oh, I bought it from there. I'm like, I guess y'all give me the money then. Y'all like throwing away money. Like, give it here. I don't know where I can find this cigar at. And I'm like, you're a club member. What the fuck do you mean you don't know where to get the cigar? It's here. Like,
yeah. I can't speak to it because it's kind of biased, obviously. Like,
that's why I say I'll say it, because I just look at stuff. I'm just like, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing?
it let me save you money. I promise you, shipping has gotten a lot better. Most orders are out the door in under 24 hours. All. But I yes, the one thing I haven't talked about is what you know. I mean, Ron, I think you're one of two people. You and Lee know that actually July 1st, I went full-time Black Lion and I quit my other job. And so I'm all in.
And I told what I tell you earlier today. We were messaging no risk, no reward.
Yep, and you know there was a point where I realized that folks that I was doing you guys a disservice because I was all in, but I still had family time, right? I still got to balance that. I got a 5-year-old. I got a second son on the way, and I still had another 40-hour-a-week job, and it was just too much. And I realized as this is growing and we've done a good enough job where people believe in Black Lion in the club and the store, that I couldn't do it all. And you know, I told Ron when I made the decision, you know, I said I'm all in. So now it's, you know, it's even more critical, but things have gotten better. You know, I still got my learning curve, but things have gotten better. Thanks to guys like Axel who have stepped up and helped pack club boxes. Troy, who I haven't seen on the chat, but Troy's helping too. So I got 2 people underneath me. I'll have a third when the guy, Dan, who had the heart attack, is back in the shop. So I got 3 guys that I trust tremendously helping pack the boxes and get them out the door better. Yeah, so I mean, I'd appreciate you all giving me a chance and allowing me to save you money with the code and hopefully prove to you if you had a bad experience in the past that things are better, or if you've never shopped with Black Lion before, that I'm here to be a change in the industry. And I'm actually going to try to treat you right, because as most people know, if you've gotten the Padron, Tatuaje, Illusione, or any of the blind buys and you're a club member, treat you right. If you're a club member and you make a regular order, you know, anything else, I treat you right. And that's always going to be my priority, is making sure our club members are treated right. And that means, you know, extra cigars that are in there that I don't really talk about, or tchotchkes that I save for certain people. You guys get priority to that. So give me a chance, order in. You know, the big boys are out there. They have a little better inventory, but I've got the cigars you're smoking on a monthly basis. And if you like, they're there. And I do appreciate most. Yeah, I appreciate most of you that already do it. And it means a tremendous amount of, I don't know, just thank you, I guess, is the word. Ron and I are trying to do some tremendous things, and that only happens if we can keep growing.
Yeah, yep. It's definitely ain't over. It's a lot of big plans in the future. If the things go right, it's gonna be, as J. Cole said, power team, like it's a lot of stuff in the works. That if things go right, man, it's gonna be some really, really big stuff going on. There's some other people are gonna be looking at like, oh shit, like
Ron,
fun time's over, man.
I wish I could tell them about the thing you and I are talking about with that email a couple of weeks ago about with Tom or Tim.
Yeah.
I guess Tim and Tom are involved, but like that shit just doesn't happen, man.
No, that's it's a lot of big stuff going on. So I know I'm having fun being a part of it, like James is too, and we want you guys to be a part of it too. So on that note, man, we're gonna get up out of here. You guys have a good Friday. If you got to go to work tomorrow, y'all stay safe on the roads and at work. I'll be around. Like I said, James will too. If you guys need us, y'all know how to get in touch with us. And on that note, man, we'll catch y'all next month for the next episode of Black and White Ash. I'm sure I will have some stuff out before then too. I'll probably pop up live at some point. I still got to smoke this Regis Red, which I probably will end up doing a live stream on that too. I'll do a live cigar review for you guys. And hey, y'all be good, man. Take care.
Well, you got to say it. What's this? What do we say going out?
I feel like we got to design you an exit saying now too when we do. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
No, listen. I'm gonna force feed it down people's throats. Yo, puff with the pride, people.
Puff with the pride. Y'all know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. What is it, Ron? Hit us.
Y'all know the name of the game, baby. Relaxation and enjoyment, and damn sure don't forget to be driven, never motivated. Puff with a pride. Hashtag BLLCOTM. Hey man, y'all keep posting. We love y'all. Y'all be good.
Peace.